Hey everybody, welcome to the Nerd Dungeon. This is your boy Dre. I got my people Smitty, King Bob, and tonight on Toy Chats, we are talking to already somebody that your boy Dre already is thinking like he's gonna be best friends with. My boy Playful Gorilla, who's also mi gente. Playful Gorilla, Alex, tell me a little bit about yourself. Thank you for coming on the show, first of all.
My man, wait about. Hey, listen, I appreciate the invite. This is gonna be fun. I don't know how to shut the fuck up. So, sorry, I don't even know how to curse.
Oh, please, don't worry. We it's a Nerd Dungeon. You can curse all you want.
You're fine. Kids are playing back there. They can't hear me. My wife is upstairs. She can't yell at me. So, you know what I'm saying? Actually, she can still hear me. So she can probably yell at me.
Well, mine's in the living room. She'll hear me and she'll be like, "Shut up, Andre," and I'll be like, "Oh shit."
Yo, yeah, man. My name is Alex. I go by the Playful Gorilla online. Yeah, man, we do this. This is I'm sitting right here in Philly right now, but you know what I'm saying, well, the movement's international, brother. That's where I'm at. So it's like it's been a hell of a ride so far. So I'm just excited, man. It's taking a quick little break from the studio tonight to hang out with you fellas. Smitty, you're a legend in my eyes, my friend. So
Playful's one of my favorite artists. And I mean, you guys know, I mean, I've pumped Booze and Buddies Friday nights last year a ton. We had season 2 inaugural stream on Friday.
We're back, baby. We're back. It was quite a long 5 weeks. We took 5 weeks off, bro, and my phone was on fire the entire 5 weeks, which is crazy. Like, when you guys coming back? I said, man, I need a break. We went ham for like 30 weeks straight. Like, it was, we good. We did a break, but we're back. It's a fun time. I mean, Smitty's been on this. Listen, shout out to Smitty, because that dude is a monstrosity. Even before I say things, he's in the box like, yo, this is the website. He's in my head, bro. And I gotta give him a lot of credit. I gotta shout out to Smitty.
That's my brother right there, bro. He's just like that. I will 100% co-sign that, because he really is.
Like, well, how do you pay him? Like, Dre, how you paying Smitty? I hope you're paying Smitty, because I gotta figure out what.
We family, bro. I don't gotta pay him like that.
Damn. All right, well, listen, he had my sister's Batalillo, so he family now too.
Oh, yes, facts.
Oh, yeah. If you came to Philly, you would have to.
Ooh, yo,
I've delivered them 60 miles.
Man, I'm telling you, they're worth
actually longer, because I had to pick them up in Philly. So probably 80-mile road trip to deliver them.
Oh man, that was legendary. I was helping her that day working. And all of a sudden, Smitty shows up. I'm like, I know that fucking thing. Holy shit. It was the last thing I expected. So it's fire. Jay, I got to get you some. The Jones are...
Oh, we're going to talk.
I promise you, you're not going to find a better joint. I'm telling you.
I'm saying, that's what we look, folks, if y'all don't realize, y'all know how I roll. I'm just a friendly dude. And these guys, everybody that comes on this show ends up leaving being family. That's how we start. I can't help it. Big Dub was here and we had a great time. Big Dub just got his package. Shout out to Big Dub for getting those comic books. I hope you can find the rest of them. Then we had Century.
I'll give you my address real quick. You can send them. I
got you on the IG. I got you. Then we had Century the Mad Collector. That dude is awesome. Went to school with me and Bob. Graduated from the same college. Then we had our boy Doug last week, and he sent me my little prize pack, folks, and I'm gonna tell you, that shit came through, and I love everything that came inside of it. So big shout out to him. And then I got Playful Gorilla.
I'm not sending you shit, just FYI. No, I'm fucking.
All right, see, I'm done.
I'm with you. I got you, fam. I was gonna put something together for you guys. I don't know what it is. This is right. Look, just there's so much shit back here I gotta get rid of. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, dude, we'll take it. So
between what he does on his for his own projects, but I mean what he's done with Fett on Booze and Buddies, the number of artists that he's given spotlights to, from like Surge, Evil Ghosty, King Ganga.
Yeah,
I mean, more recent.
Bro, I'm telling you, like it's one of my favorite parts about the show is getting to know these up and coming artists. Where like it's hard nowadays because the not that it's saturated, but it's hard to get your name out there. It's hard to like, make a name for yourself. And I'm just trying to open up doors for people, man. Like I wish people would have done this for me when we first started, but these young dudes, they're hungry, they got skill. Do not sleep on any of them because they're gonna come out hard. These bigger companies, I promise you, are gonna start mining them. Next thing you know, you're gonna have production pieces, and you're gonna have all kinds of cool stuff coming out because you know what I'm saying, they had the opportunity to shine. You know what I mean? Smitty's been seeing a bunch of new faces, new followers, like it's and they bring the heat every single time. Am I going crazy?
No. Yeah. I mean the stream itself has grown a ton in the year.
Yeah, and unbelievably. Which
I'm telling you, I mean, Playful and Fett bring their own great, how do I want to say, specials to the viewers, but each of the artists come with a special for the viewers. And if you're a collector, like I've started, you guys know I'm shifting from out of Funko into the designer toys and stuff. And, for somebody who's just getting into it, it's a great chance to see a lot of artists.
Get on the ground floor, man, because sometimes some of these artists are going to get so booked up and so you're not even going to be able to purchase something from them. You know what I mean? What's crazy is that the growth was as organic as it comes. Like we totally came on the scene with zero marketing. That was the plan, right? We're like, look, we're not saying shit. We're not going to tell you who's on the show. We're not going to tell you what's going to happen on the show. We're just going to show up. We're going to show up, have a good time, drink a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Have a good time and just promote these artists. And don't get twisted. Like me and Fett also, we're constantly creating. We're constantly, we're bringing new characters out. We're bringing new stuff out. And, on top of, your 9-to-5 hustle, you got the freelance hustle, then you got the Boozing Buddies hustle, which is, sometimes I don't know why I do this, Dre. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, yo, I'm gonna just, I quit. I'm gonna go sleep a little bit.
Oh no, bro. Let me tell you something. I think that everybody hits a spot in their life when they're just kind of like.
Espérate. I feel left out. Okay, espérate. I'm back. I'm here. Okay. Now I feel like I'm in the club. Yeah.
See, I gotta put him in the club. But in all honesty, it feels like that though. Like there are some moments. Like I went through it with YouTube with these guys. They know on my personal channel, I took a hiatus because I just had shit hit me in my life. And then, then I was like, I came back in, and only reason I came back in was because of our boy JC. Shout out to JC. I know you're working, doing your schoolwork, so thank you.
Shout out to JC.
Exactly, but he came and brought us together. Was like, look, we got to get. We're 4 really good friends. We've known each other now going on 5 years, and we've sat through this shit. We've been through the shit together. Why not do something together? And the Nerd Dungeon was born, and it kind of revitalized me to rebrand. And then my daughter, I have my 12-year-old, and then I got my little toddler, my what was it, 1 year, 19 months now.
11 years.
Yeah, I know. And then I got a 16-year-old that's up in New York. So Lord help me. Yeah. So I and the thing is, when I rebranded to become the Geek Dad, that's when I felt like I knew I was doing things right. Like this didn't become the job; it was the hobby. That's just been more fun to do.
You didn't find the purpose found you.
Facts. And it's the best feeling in the planet because like I love doing this show. Like when I sat and I said the New Year's coming, I said I got to do something on Mondays. I was like, I want to do something fun. I see all these other YouTubers, like they always interview the same people in their circles, and I was like, well, why don't we start getting people that we like on the show?
You gotta break out of that. You gotta break out of that. That's where the magic happens. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how kind of how I got to Boozing Buddies is kind of the same way. Like I tried a bunch of stuff. I hosted my own show where I brought my buddies on and they just clowned me while I was sketching and painting. Then I got picked up by a podcast and we did a couple episodes because they saw how how fun and interactive it was. That kind of died down. Then after the pandemic hit, like I lost all my I used to run the con circus. I used to have a whole setup where I would go to the cons, I bust out the wall of prints, pins, toys. Like I was out there hustling, and I lost that overnight. Somebody just ganked everything, and then that turned into like, okay, well now we're sitting in the middle of a pandemic. What the hell do you do? So we started a live painting party at one point. So we just kind of got a bunch of people just forget about the week, forget about what happened, forget about what's going on outside. Let's just hang out. Let's do artwork. Let's just bug the hell out. And that kind of just evolved into Boozing Buddies. Boozing Buddies became kind of like, okay, well, the cons aren't really coming back as fast as you thought they would be. And how do we get some of these artists that, man, would be killers, would be absolute assassins at some of these cons, a voice and a platform? And we kind of started with a simple concept of like, we all struggle, but we also all have dreams. So is there a way to creatively finance some of these dreams, right? And as collectors, you guys know we're sitting on like piles and piles of things that you're never ever gonna like. I'm still getting things in. I just got this thing in the mail today. I don't know why. Why? Because it's a gorilla, of course. Because my dumbass, I don't know, must have been on eBay or something drunk one night. I don't know. But it's like, how do you take some of this stuff and flip it and flip it into flip it with a purpose? So it's like some of these individuals wanted a pin run, or they wanted their own toy, or they wanted to finance. I say, look, man, like I don't have it. I don't come from anything. You know what I'm saying? I just figured it out. You just there's ways to really truly make an impact, and I'm trying to show this younger generation who have the raw skill, right? They have that raw talent. The business sense is not there yet. So it's like, well, how can I leave a legacy of the hustle that all I know of, and how can I pass that on to this next generation? And like it's been crazy. It's evolved from that to a machine of like, I think the second to last show we hosted a what I call a miscast show.
That was a great show,
dude. Somebody, how long were we on? 7-8 hours? Like it was bananas.
I had to tap out at like 1.
It was bananas. But here's the thing. I always had this thought process, right? Like I cast resin toys, right? That means that I mix two materials together, that they're liquid, they start as liquid, put them in a mold, solidifies, boom, 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 you have yourself a nice little piece of resin, right? But what happens is that sometimes mishaps happen. You didn't pour enough, they caught a bubble, it just didn't turn out the way it looked like. And 9 times out of 10, most artists, what they do is they just toss these pieces. Now, mind you, this is money you're putting into it. So now, in my eyes, I'm like, man, I can't let these pieces go to waste. And I think early on in the show, I had one of my favorite artists on. Shout out to Frank Montano, a good buddy of mine. And I remember him like, hey man, I did something specifically for the show, which again, Smitty, I don't know if you noticed, that was very organic too. Like people started bringing like exclusive drops to the show. That's it right there. That's him right there, Micro Beast. And he's like, man, I wanted to cast like 20 of them. I only got 8. I'm like, okay, like, did you just run out of time? He's like, no, man, the other ones just got messed up and I can't tell them. I'm like, man, I don't want me to go. Man, I don't want me to. Let's talk real quick. And he said, well, where are they? He goes, they're in the trash. I'm like, ugh. I say, Frank, I say, look, you know how hard it is to get one of your pieces, period? And you're telling me there's 12 pieces just sitting in the trash. How bad are they? He literally goes to the trash. He goes, well, this one has bubbles. And I'm like, I was like, give me a price. I bet y'all sell it right here, right now. And sure enough, like 10 people were like, y'all take it.
All of them.
All of them out of the trash sold. That was that spark of like, listen, here's the way. We put so much pressure on ourselves as artists to give you the best, to give you the cleanest, the like, I get that. But there's also bills that we got to pay. And I bet you that there's a collector out there that can't afford your $150 piece. But you're telling me that you got a piece that you think is trash and you're going to let it go for 10, 15, 20 bucks? Guarantee I will sell you out every single time. So we did that.
I mean,
I was blown away. Smitty
at Little Yeti,
yeah,
normally is a $40 little 2-inch.
Tiny.
I mean, Frank stuff's pricey. I mean, by my standard.
Yeah, and my standards too. Guaranteed. But
well, so getting your, and he's very limited runs. So getting your hands on one of his pieces, when you were able to get one for $10, I was like, hell yes.
It's like
So that
A
was
little bubble in the middle, I'll take it.
exactly. And I keep telling folks, I say, look, that process, that behind the scenes process, that journey to where you got to your final dope ass piece, that journey is just as important to collectors. See, I don't fancy myself a collector, right? Because I'm broke. So I collect things, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not a collector because what I really want, I can't afford, right? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? But I know how important it is, and I know I have pieces in my collection that were either gifted to me or just like, you know, in a trade where it was something like that, where it's like, hey, listen, I can't sell this, but you know, as long as you don't say anything, like here, I'll give it to you, or let's trade or something. I'm like, badass. And I have pieces in my collection that are imperfect, but they're perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because that is something that like no one else has. It's a miscast, yeah, but it's that process of like, yo, he's still slaved over this piece. She's still slaved over this piece. And now I own it for on the low, on the cheap. Are you kidding me? Hell yeah. So we did that on a full scale bust, you know, on a show in about 2 weeks. In 2 weeks time, I put together 25 different artists, and I didn't reach out to them. I just literally posted. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm putting a miscast show. All my resin guys hit me up. 25 people hit me up. 25 people got on the show. 25 people sold out of every single piece that they brought to the table, which was crazy. So for a little budding show to be able to sell out so many artists, and they were like, every single one of them have hit me up, and they're so grateful because they couldn't put those two together, right? Like there's stacks and stacks of just money piling up on the side that they can't get rid of, and I'm like, let's talk, let's make it happen, and you know, that's just one of the things that we kind of evolved into. It's like, man, there's creative ways, and there's things that we can add value to, you know, with the right hype.
Well, see, here's the thing though. You hit the nail on the head 100%. Like you're doing it the way the hustle needs to be done. Because fact of facts, it's like I've been through the hustle. I'm doing it now. Like right now. I'm not working, I'm on disability, but I'm trying to do something for my kids for Christmas, and I'm trying to put it together. So I talked to the wife about it, and I've already made like $800 to pay into this thing that we're doing. And you know what I'm saying? Like
Creative.
I
Right.
I took my figures. I went through my collection and I said, what don't I collect that's just sitting in a fucking box that can make money? Bro, I came across 4 pieces that were $150. I was like, what? Who wants this shit? Somebody did, and I went and sold it. And that's the thing. What's that, Smitty?
All right. So this is a great example of
Another
this. This is what one of Resin Rookie's normal casts look like, right?
Mhm.
Check the top, super smooth,
super clean,
super finished, polished.
beautiful piece.
This is the piece I got in that miscast sale. And because of the color scheme on it, the green, I'm like, this is awesome. It's like a toxic one.
And you perceive that value. So guess what? That piece, he could have probably asked double what he sold it for and still got it. Why? Because the minute you can convince that other person that this has perceived value, you're in.
It's not even just that. You said it best. You're an artist, bro. And I said this last week to Doug, and I'm gonna say this to you, bro. I feel that you guys as artists, your pieces are supposed to evoke an emotion.
Correct.
And that's the thing. Like you do something like Smitty just said that this is the toxic piece. Imagine if that artist had thought about that and said, yo, this is my toxic line. I got 4 of them in here. This is 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, 4 of 4. And this is what the value is.
I'm hoping that we're laying the groundworks for stuff like that, right? Where I want artists to thrive. And I dude, I get it. I got 2 kids to feed. I got a house overhead. I got a couple cars. Like, I get it. Like, it ain't easy. It ain't easy when you're on a tight budget. It ain't easy. But you know what? Every single one of these artists, I bet you every night, close their eyes and dream about what they can be doing if they had the money. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, listen, I was there. This is the only reason I do this and I say this because I was there. I am there. Shoot, I have my own goals and dreams that I gotta get to. There's no way in hell I can go into my pocket and pay for some of these projects. It's not happening. So it's like I have to find a creative way to get there. And listen, I'm like again, sitting on all this crap, like I can show you just walls and walls of, you know, custom, what I call custom fodder, right? Just pieces that I've collected or pieces I bought or pieces I've traded for that eventually I can turn into some cash, right? So eventually I can paint up, do a custom on and flip it. Look at this, my man right here. See, these are the kind of examples of like they're not my, they're not a production piece, right? They're not there's flaws to them. But to me, it's like that's me. Like you're getting a piece of me. You're getting a sketch. You're getting a concept. You're getting a sliver of time, a moment in time where I'm like, I'm doing something. And to me, it's like, you know what? There is value here. I would never have sold that outside of Booze and Buddies. To me, it was just like, it's not, it ain't where I wanted to be. But these guys show me and prove to me that like there is value here. There is something that like, yo, you don't want it, I'll take it. I'll sell it to me. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? And that really did open up how I'm approaching what I'm doing now. And it's kind of crazy. Like, yeah, we started Booze and Buddies, but man, that ain't for us, man. It's for the community. It's for everybody else. That's how I'm approaching it this season. That's how I'm, moving forward, just thinking about it. Just a little playground where I can interact. Now that one's a favorite piece of mine. That's one of my pieces I do like. That one right there was fun. Taking a simple platform and just creating something completely new. That to me, that's the most fascinating part about this whole journey, man. I'm telling you, you gotta catch it one day. You gotta catch it.
I'm gonna definitely check it out. I'm gonna tell you though, there's something that you said that kind of really resonates with me, which is, the fact that it's that you captured that moment in time, that like that piece. And I think about like card misprints or going to a con and like having a piece made for you, where that artist will charge you maybe $50-$60, and you're like, some people are like, oh, that's bullshit, I don't want to pay that. But you are paying that's the artist's personal time. Or what if they're like, it's a color piece?
The first commission that you ever got, you're forever going to remember that. That is an absolute memory that you completely wrote it in stone. Like, no, this happened on this day at this con with this artist. Why? I know, because it's sitting on my wall right now. You know what I'm saying? Like those moments, I live for those moments, bro. Like that's what life is, right? It's like, yo, it's like, how do you expand on that? How do you share that? And how do you look at that? Oh, who did that one, King?
Like, this is the first Playful Gorilla piece I was able to get my hands on.
And why is that?
And literally, Xavier wanted it, and I beat him to it on his own site.
He told me, he's like, I'm gonna put it up, but please, can you not promote it? I'm like, okay, why? He's like, because I want to buy it. I'm like, oh shit, okay, cool. And then he hits me up. He's like, how did I lose this? I'm like, oh man, I don't know, dude.
Bob, he was asking you who did your
that was done by an artist named Rast Opticon.
Oh, that's a legend right there, bro. You got yourself a legend right there.
Well, actually, he also did this for me.
Yo, Jack is one of my favorite characters, period. I don't care what anybody says. I thought I was a pirate for a long time because
you got the beard, bro.
I got it now. It wasn't back in the day, like front, like I had a beard. But no, man, this is why I haven't got rid of it yet. I think after if I get laid off here, I'm gonna just go get a fucking boat and go on the seas, steal shit.
Exactly. I am the captain now.
I am the captain now. Man, dude, his lines and his is so clean. And again, you can appreciate that, right?
Hell yeah.
Like to me. Like, listen, don't get it twisted. You give me a piece of paper, a rock, a wall. I don't care. If I could put some artwork on it, I'm doing it. Like that's been my mentality since I can remember. But 3-dimensional objects, toys, that is where my love and my heart is. No matter what I'm doing, or who I'm working for, or what kind of freelance work I'm picking up. Like at the end of the day, in my mind, I'm like, man, like the goal and the dream is to, well. It's kind of cool because it kind of happened this year, this last couple of years. The goal is to take my kids to a store and be like, yo, Dad did that. Go ahead, pick one out, and let me go buy it for you. That's always been my goal. And shout out to my 9 to 5 because I design Disney dog toys. So my lines have been at PetSmart, Walmart, Hot Topics. So I've been able to take the kids and let them pick up a piece. And I'm telling you right now, next to the day my kids were born, it's one of the greatest feelings and greatest moments of my life, man. I swear to God, there's something, there's a journey I started 20 years ago, that I didn't know where it would lead. I think in deep in my soul, I was hoping it's where I am today, and I everything I've done has been to kind of learn what I'm doing today, right? So I started this whole thing as a computer animator, and I mean I remember hustling down in Miami just with my own tower. Any studio that, even if they didn't have 3D packages, I would bring my own tower, sit down. What kind of assets you need? All right, you need flying birds. Gotcha. Bam. I got credit for flying birds and a bunch of these like TV shows, and anything I could wrap my head around. I ran into this industry while I was in college, which is wild as hell. Like that was it didn't dawn on me and click on me till years later. But I remember sitting there, and he's a homie of mine now, but back in the day, I didn't know of him. He created what were called Tendos, and they were basically Nintendo cartridges that were all like
I remember this.
moved out. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful pieces. In my mind, I'm like, what is this? Like, I remember my roommate, my homie, he goes, yo, did you see this? And it was basically the custom show of that, which again, I had no idea what the hell I was looking at. I had no idea. All I knew is that somebody took Mario 3 and actually made a Mario like with the raccoon suit on the actual. I'm like, yo, what is this? And that kind of like that, I think that put a seed in my head of like, okay, I am on the right track, because to get here, like I started thinking, well, how the hell do I do that? And I say, oh shit, I'm like, oh damn, okay, like I'm in the vicinity, right? Like I'm in animation, and there's character driven stuff, and I know now how to sculpt characters. Boom. I never connected the two. And it was not till I left, not till I came back to Philly, where some of the colleagues that I met while I was working in California blessed me with free tickets to go to like what was called a Maya users meeting group. And that's basically Maya is the program I use to sculpt and stuff like that. And it was a random night in New York. It was raining. I took the train up from Philly. I'm like, all right, let me see here. And the presentation was Blue Sky. I don't know if you guys know Blue Sky. Said the guys that did the Rio and a bunch of other stuff.
Oh yeah.
So that studio was hosting this kind of like show off night, right? Where they brought the animators in and they showed how the birds in Rio were made, and how, they were just, I'm not saying that like, damn, like I missed this, because I had walked away from it when my first son was born, because I was animating 15, 16, 17 hours a day, bro. Like I was just sitting in front of comiendo computadora, just sitting there, blah, blah, blah. And when I had my kid, man, I don't want to do this shit. I love this, dude. This is what I want to do. And I had stopped for a long time, and I started doing like more corporate jobs, and it just like slowly I was just losing myself. Like, man, I told my wife, I'm like, I'm miserable. Like, yeah, we're making money, miserable. And she looked at me, she's like, you need something. You need an outlet. Like, you need to do something. Get the hell out of the house. Like, do something. And then sure enough, man, that's when I met Steve Tukowski. Steve Tukowski is a freelance animator that worked at Blue Sky. He did a second presentation, and his presentation was on designer toys. And I'm like, what the hell's a designer toy? Like, what am I looking at here? And he literally brought his prototypes. Say, I got this little robot that I always wanted to bring to life. And, I was working at the studio, and they wanted, some actual physical toys. So I started making my own. And he literally, like, he recounted my story. He was like, I'm an animator who just had a kid, and I can't animate as much. And, I have all the skill set of, turning all my 3D characters into animations. He's like, I do everything I do for animation. He goes, I sculpt it, I texture it, I rig it, I'll pose it, but instead of animating, I 3D print. And I'm like, pero qué? What? 3D what? What are you talking about? I was sitting there, like, he showed you the 3D prints, and then he showed you his final like production piece, the one that he got made overseas, got a bunch of stuff in. I'm sitting there like, what did I just walk into? Like, it was the greatest. The coolest thing was that his partner was the lead prototyper at McFarlane Toys. So even before Walking Dead was on TV, I was holding a Michonne 3D printed prototype in my hand, and I'm like, whatever this is, I want to do. Like, I don't care. I'm not. I like when I tell you, man, I went from like being completely depressed to like I got a new found love. You know when you fall in love for the first time? You know what I'm saying? That's what I had again, man. I'm like,
I'll tell you, this is where I'm gonna share with you because you've been sharing, and I feel like like I feel like I can bond with you, and that we've not. I feel like I've known you for years.
facts.
I had gone through a bad, like I said with you two, I went through a bad time, and I got like these guys know I was on YouTube every week. I was on there streaming, doing whatever with these guys, trying to get my numbers, And then I was dating somebody. She did me dirt, and I just went into a spiral down. And the show went with me. And if it wasn't for the lovely woman that sits in that living room with the two beautiful kids I have, it would and these three guys and my best friend, I would not have cycled out of it. And it brought me back to what I love, which is doing this, talking to people, because I'm a people person. I'm not the bro. It's just I can't stop who I am.
Nope.
And it's like I believe if like I can network and do the same thing you do, like because that's my belief. Being a minority, I try to always help people out. I always want people to have a voice, and I hate that. Like I to borrow a line from CM Punk, I'm the voice of the voiceless. When people can't feel that they can network, I find you those people that I can put you onto. I always be like, yo, you don't know somebody? I got somebody. I got somebody.
Yo.
And I feel like you're doing the same thing. And I think that that's so admirable because we don't see that often. It's a lot of cutthroatness and a lot of things. And this generation needs that guidance. They need to stop getting that cliquish mentality and realize that, yo, I can be successful. But look to your elders, look to the people that were here before you that started this. That's how I always look at it. Like I luck out that I've learned how to be good at editing and like be personal in front of the camera and talk and not be nervous and not be awkward like I used to be. Now I have fun and I know how to talk to people. And I was like, well, why don't I parlay that skill instead of sitting being depressed and not letting my life get in here and learn to focus outward and have fun. And ever since then, I got a logo for the show. I have made more friends. I have friends that do 3D printing that have designed a logo for me. Shout out to Bill Vicious that comes on the show, and he's been a big supporter for the last 6 months, and he's been a friend of mine for 2 years. It's parlayed into other things, and I think that when I hear you say that, when you're like, look, I want to get these kids and let them know that the hustle pays out.
It does. It's hard. It ain't easy.
Come here, Mama.
Easy.
Oh, you don't want to come here? Oh, my toddler just came up and she went hi, and then she went running away. Mama, come here. You don't want to come here? Oh, you got your pants. She's trying to be hood. She got her pant leg up and one leg down with her box of Elmo cookies and like, yo, you can't have none. I'm out.
Fine.
Oh boy.
Yo,
but yeah, Daddy, it's mad brick in here.
You said two things that I think, like, I am a firm believer in. You said that if it wasn't for your boys, your circle of friends of like who really truly believe in you more than you believe in yourself sometimes.
Yep.
If you don't surround yourself with people who want to uplift you and not bring you down, if you don't surround yourself with those people that think, hey man, you got this, you're greater than what you think you are. If you don't surround yourself with those people, you will fail. You will fail because you are a product of those who surround you. And I've been very adamant about that. If and when you're trying to stifle what I'm trying to do, guess what? We're good. I don't hold any grudges. All I know is I know how to close doors. That's what I know how to do. Poppy told me very well. Like, listen, if they're not with you, just walk. Just keep on walking. Let them do their own thing. But the other part was the fact that like, coño, and it's what I think I get from my dad the most is that no matter how good you're doing or how bad you're doing. Your duty on this planet is to help someone that's in need. That's
Facts.
it.
My grandmother was like that.
That's it. Dude, I've seen my dad take the last couple bucks out of his pocket to make sure another family was fed. Guaranteed. Because we would always figure it out. And he knew that. You know what I'm saying? And seeing that, I never understood that. Like as a kid, you're like, man, what? Like, yo, I want a cheesesteak. I want a cheesesteak. Oh, I get arroz con huevo. Okay, cool. That's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, I know that.
You know what I mean? Like, all right, I got it. But not until I got older and realized when I was in my worst spots, man, like we struggle, man. Like like for a long time, man, like, I had lost my jobs back to back. Like I got laid off from a job I was almost at 5 years. I was on the street for like 3 months, not a street, just out of a job for 3 months. I picked up another job a year later. They laid me off. This was after 12 years of working straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the hell is this? And if it wasn't for those around me, if it wasn't for that circle of friends who like, yo, when I started, like when I got laid off, I told myself, I'm just going to do cons. Like I know I can make money doing cons. But you know what you need? You need money to start. You need to pay for these tables. You need to, you know what I'm saying? And I can tell you of a handful of people who without hesitation was like, Alex, shut up. Come over here, split the table with me. Don't worry about paying the table. Make your money. And if you make the money, pay me. If you don't worry. Let's go to the next one and keep it moving. And you messed up when you do that with me because I'm not gonna fail. You get me in front of a group of people in a crowd of folks. I will bring you to the table, and 8 times out of 10 you will walk away with something. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I learned that real fast, and I've been a recipient of that help. And in my mind, it's like for the last 5 years, and Smitty knows the horror stories. But even through everything that I'm going through, I post a lot about it. I'm like, I want you guys to see it. I want you guys to see, hey man, yeah, I lost this. I lost my mom, I lost my dog, I almost lost a house, I almost lost, you know what I mean, like my health, like everything. But you know what? I'm still sitting here talking to Dre, talking to Bob, talking to Smitty. And you know what it is? At one point, I want to be successful so that I can say there is no excuse for anyone watching that whatever life throws your way, 1, you can overcome it. 2, you can succeed. Simple as that. And
Mind over matter.
2 points that you just said, your circle of friends and the fact of paying it forward, helping those that need the help the most. It's real simple, man. That's the secret, if you ask me.
No, you said it because like I grew up with, my grandmother lived in the projects, and I was talking to my wife about it yesterday. We were talking about how childcare gets expensive, and we were just like, yo, my grandmother lived in the project. She had 7 kids. My grandfather went to go work as a security guard. They spoke English, but very, very poorly. And then, my grandmother's sitting there babysitting like 7, 8 kids plus her kids. And, it's like, that's how it was back then. And then the hustle was real. My grandmother didn't ask for money. She said, they would bring her groceries. They would do this, they would do that. And then even as my grandmother got older and my family started bringing their kids to her, they were like, oh, Doña Tel, what do you want? And my grandmother, may she rest in peace, she watched my son. I went to her house every day, and I would be like, well, what do you want? Oh, I'm going to buy you. No, mijo, don't buy me nothing. I was making good money. I was like, I got you. Don't worry.
That's when you come back, right? Because at one point, she took care of you.
Exactly. Fact to fact. I lived on her couch. She put a couch in the living room so I could sleep. I'll never forget that. I will never forget my best friend. Shout out to Nicole. She took me in when I didn't have anywhere else to go. My wife, who's been supportive of everything I do now, I gotta admit, she holds me down. And I love her to death. I know I drive her crazy, but
same. She not.
Right, babe? Look, wait here. But you know what though? That's my ride or die.
Facts. If it wasn't for Kim, shout out to Kim. She understood early on what I set out to do. When I started dating her 6 months before I shipped off to Miami to go to school. So we were in a long distance relationship for the first 4 years of our relationship, right?
Wow.
But she knew I was like, because by this point, I had already I had already dropped out of college. You know what I'm saying? I went to Penn State for 2.5 years. 1.2 GPA. Yeah, I'm good. It was not worth it. But you know, I fell in love with CAD, which was, you know, computer assisted design, and that was the first like taste of 3D. And it was like, what the hell is this? You know? And then I told her, I was like, if I stay in Philly, I'll be in jail in 3 years. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So I was like, do I want in 3 years be in jail and be like the rest of the homies I grew up with? Or do I try to make a difference? Do I try to make something of myself? And again, my pop was very adamant. You know, he worked very hard. My mom raised 7 of us. 7, no, mentira. Son 4, 6. I lost
6 for y'all.
one of my brothers early on. I never met him. And I lost my sister when I was 18 and she was 28. So it's like we know what it is to like lose. But through all that, like my brother's a professional, you know, he's a pilot. My other brother's a freaking another professional. He's a foreman at his job. The man can do anything. Like I remember when I was laid off, we were out there building decks. You know what I mean? Like the hustle never stops. You know what I'm saying? Like look at the timeline, son. Like I never stopped working, even in the worst, you know, the worst times. But for me, it was like, man, how do I break from this? You know, I got very comfortable. You know, I was working 3-4 jobs when I dropped out of college, so I wouldn't be home. I was making decent money. I was like, this is the life, you know what I'm saying? But I was a fool. I was an absolute fool. And you know, it took me leaving and her fighting tooth and nail for me to realize that it comes down to that circle, and it starts with her. If it wasn't like, dude, if it wasn't for her, like I put this family through hell because of me. There's my other one. What's up, bud?
Hey,
that's my youngest. That's Logan.
I like that.
That's the comedian.
I love it. As I'm saying, that's my baby. That's a toddler.
That's it. He cracks me the hell up. But again, you know, I took risks. I took big risks, right?
But you had to.
You have to. If you really want to chase that dream, like I said, when I left that meeting in New York, in my head, and that's my oldest right there. Good night, sir. Good night. Oh, you going up?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the reason I do everything. That's everything. Where the fuck was I saying? No, but it comes. You know, like I took risks, knowing that when I left that meeting, I knew my ultimate goal was to have my own production piece, my own production figure that I've designed, that I've created, that, you know, I see it in my head. I see it in my head. We're getting close, son. We're getting close. We're getting super close. I do now everything here and right behind me. And I'm starting to do a lot of collabs that are our production pieces. So it's like my name is attached to some really dope production pieces. I cannot be ecstatic, but it's still not that goal, right? It's still not that dream. So yes, I'm very appreciative of where I'm at. That's there. Oh my dude, Smitty, my man. Damn, I gotta get you an MVP pin or something, bro. That's crazy.
I'm saying
those are all samples of like, hey, listen, I am on a. I know
those
now.
are fire.
I know now where I'm going. I know now where I want to be, and you're going to have to fucking rip this shit out of my hands for me to fucking quit. Like,
and that's the attitude I think that you radiated. Like just in talking to you before this, I could tell that the hustle is real. That it's. I mean, those shits are dope. And the fact that you know what your end goal is, and it's not even your end goal. It's like this is the goal I'd like to reach for here. And then once I get there, the next steps are going to be towards something higher. Like you said, you want to be able to take your kids to the store to be like, yo, this is daddy. Daddy did this.
Facts. Look at this, man. This is all samples of just like, man, me, like, I know where I want to be. I know what I want to do. If you would have asked me 10 years ago, yo, you're gonna go to shoot for a production toy, I would have been like, you crazy. That's impossible. And even now, sometimes I think it's impossible, right? Like, it's a big investment. It's like, how do you get there? How do you get from paying your bills, making sure everybody's taken care of at the house, making sure everybody's fed, and everybody's clothed, and everybody has a roof over their head, to having the extra cash flow to really take a humongous risk, right? This bill is going to be huge. And when I get product, a sale isn't guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, here's one of these goals that I know I'm going to put my family again in a big risk situation. But without big risk, there ain't no big rewards, Bobby. So it's like,
Claro que sí.
I'm in, and no matter where, no matter how long it takes me, I've taken the scenic route. I tell everybody, I've taken the scenic route. I like, I don't have a rich uncle. I don't have, mommy, Bobby, like, rest in peace, mommy, but Bobby, he's good. Like he you know what I'm saying? I try to help him out as much as I can now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is gonna be an interesting road, and I keep telling everybody, just come hang out, come watch it, come see it, see the struggles, see the pitfalls. But I also want to like party with you guys when we are succeeding and when it does happen, and when different projects do pop off. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the fun part, man. That's the fun part.
I like what you said though. You take the negative and turn it positive.
You have to.
But he's also building like this network of, because being a viewer and being a fairly loyal viewer, I've been most of the streams the last year. Been a couple I missed, but it's funny. Just being in the streams, supporting some of the artists, and the streams are kind of like when we're off camera, the shooting the shit and the back and forth and the ribbing, like, me getting into a bidding war with Skadoots and going back and forth with her, and each of us are cursing the other one out because we keep raising the auction price, and then just laughing about it afterwards, or finally going, all right, take it, I'm done, I can't.
I give it to you guys because it's a fun vibe. That's why I don't know if I knew that was going to happen when we started, right? I'm like, man, we're going to piss off people. People are going to be mad. But it's not like that, man. Like, you guys are in that box. And when I say the box, I mean the comment section, right? I call it the box. Like, when you're in the box, like, people are going to town. Like, there's interaction between people. Those bidding wars are fun. Like, and at the end of the day, like, there's been times, something happened. Either a bid came in late, or somebody did something, or I messed up. And within the comments, they hash it out. They're like, all right, don't worry. No, go ahead. You take it. I got this. I'll get the next one. It's just like, what? Like, this. I swear to God, guys, this is one of the coolest communities I've been a part of since I started this whole like journey. It's amazing to see the support. It's amazing to see the support within themselves, and then them pushing, hey, you got to see this person. Hey, you should take a look at this person. Hey, like, dude, we just gave away a prize pack of an artist from Cambodia, right? Shout out to what's his name?
That was a crazy pack.
Bananas. Like, this guy is unbelievable. Like, he's crazy with it. But I would never have been privy to him if it wasn't for the fact that one of the followers that watches the show, another loyal follower, which is another loyal client of mine, which he started, he learned of me through one of my collaborations with Quicks, right? He's like, dude, you do that. I was like, yeah, this is, and listen, man, I'm the easiest person I'm not that dude. Like, you want to talk to me about toys? Shit, you're not gonna shut me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you get those conversations going, it's like, yo, I'm me. I have my flaws, but at the same time, it's like I'm just here trying to help, and in helping others, I feel extremely confident, or extremely kind of like at ease and at peace with me following my own dreams, right? Because sometimes a lot of these folks, they're like you said earlier, they're cutthroat. They don't talk to you. They don't show you shit. They want to get to the end goal. And I can appreciate that, but I've learned along the way that it's not about the end goal, and it's about the journey to get there. It's about meeting people like Smitty. It's about meeting people like Dre and Bob, and just hanging out on a fucking Monday night, just shooting the shit and fucking talking toys. Like, you got to be shitting me. Like, I'm living the life right now. You know what I mean? I can't complain.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you that's 100% the I think the best part of it is that you have to look at what is the true goal.
Right.
Because like for me, this toy chats, I could easily be sitting watching TV,
Right.
bullshitting, whatever. But the fun part is collaborating with you and actually getting to know you. Like everybody that's been on the stream has become a friend, and I love that. I 100%. Like I did not expect Doug's. Like I opened the door today to check the mail, and there's a package from Doug, and I'm like, oh shit, he really sent it. I gotta thank this nigga because I didn't expect that.
I don't know. I don't know if you've seen some of Doug's art.
Mm-mm.
So Doug
Wait,
Playful
I have
has
seen
been kind enough to. He's going to be doing a piece for Dave's auction, and the guys that are viewing know Dave's auction. That Dave has an auction coming up for charity. Playful has said he would do a piece for that. I am super grateful for that.
Of course.
But my friend Doug, who's done a lot of stuff for me, he did the stroll
That's fire. I love that. That's cool.
for.
I feel like I've seen that before though. I wonder if
It's probably on my Instagram.
maybe
You've
that's
probably
right.
seen it on my
Maybe
Instagram.
that's why I've seen it.
But he's also done.
Which reminds me, Smitty, when when do I have to send you that? Because I am completely
He
and
did this
all-
custom money.
Look at that.
It's all Boba Fett comic, and he did the box too.
That's sick. That's sick. I did one like I did a Thanos like that back in the day. Way back in the day.
So, but
yeah,
so Dougie, and Fett has agreed to do a piece too. So the community that he's built with Booze and Buddies, like Playful, Fett, Surge is doing a piece for it. I was like blown away.
all these guys, you like once you you know once you get past what I call like the idolization, right? Like I at first before I knew them, like I idolized them. I was like, man, you're doing what like I fucking want to do. Like, damn it, like you guys are in the studio hustling, you guys are cranking out toys, you guys are doing amazing things. But once you pass that and you get to know them and get to speak to them, like hey, Smitty, I'm gonna tell you right now, all those people that are on the show, like they're in my phone, bro. Like I'm talking to them, all the damn time. It's like it is a true and utter beautiful community being put together, and I'm just, dude, I'm just excited. I'm just along for the ride at this point. I'm just like let's see where this goes. We'll keep going to the wheels fall off on this bad boy. You know what I mean?
But see, that's a great thing. Like again, that's been one of my pitfalls, and I think that Smitty definitely has been a very big proponent, and I give him a shout out for this 100%. Like he's always talked about the community, like not just the community that at large of like YouTube. We're gonna be like the more of the microcosm of like the community that he has integrated with and invited myself and Bob and JC to become a part of, because by actually talking to Doug and talking with you and becoming like having this more intimate level of conversation, it's like, damn, I like this community. This is exactly what we're looking to do and work with and be a part of. Not like the BS of like, oh, how many views can you get, or like, oh, look at the stuff I have and look what you don't have, because we could, this is like not like to measure, part of my friend's dick sizes. We're not, yeah, exactly. We're not trying to do that here. We're literally here to just like, yo, we got a message. We're trying to get it out there. And we're trying to make sure people that like do have an issue, like Smitty was saying, like donating pieces to donate to a charity. I'm 100% on board with that. I've done it in my college days. I've done it with a group of my friends before I met my wife. And, it's like, if I could put it on this show and propel it even more to give that opportunity for people to get access to the artwork and get access to the people to provide opportunity. Like you said, like you do, you provide opportunity. I could show you the door, but you got to walk through it.
You listen, I can't hustle for you, and you either have it or you don't. Here's an opportunity. Where will you take it to? And you'll see. If any, I'm telling you, like watch King Ganga, watch Mento, watch. These guys are going to be a big deal. You know, and
Oh yeah, I've got
There
one
he is.
piece of Ganga's.
There it is, and that's a Surge Ganga collaboration. Come on,
Yep.
man.
So it's two guys that I've come to follow.
And that's and you know, dude, it's dope. Listen, you know, growing up, I ain't have nothing. You know what I mean? Like my first Star Wars figure came from my neighborhood that I may have or may not have, you know, stolen. Just throwing it out there. You know what I'm saying? So don't get me in the house because you might lose a piece or two. It's just what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, look at my house. He's like, oh, Dre, I'm gonna come over.
You know what I mean? But like, I don't adhere to that. I don't, and I think that's a and I try to tell the boys all the time because these kids nowadays are so entitled and so like, you know, oh well, I have
my 12-year-old
so many V-Bucks and you don't got this and I got this skin and then I'm like, yo, like for real. First of all, you didn't pay for that shit, you little fucker. It was your parents, bitch. Like, you back the fuck up. First of all, let's talk that. Let you want to compare, but it's like I can't do it. I can't adhere to that. I cannot condone any of that. So it's like, yo, man, like if I have it, I have it. If I don't have it, I don't have it. Do I want it? Sure, but I'm not gonna go. You know, I'm not gonna lose sleep over something like that.
You'll never go without or have your family go without to have something because like I'll tell you one of the best things I told my best friend the other day. I was talking to her yesterday and I was like, dude, you know, Father's Day, my birthday this year, I just want gift cards for the thing we're doing in Christmas. She's like, oh, I love that. She's like, I was like, stuff doesn't matter to me, memories do.
Memories, that's it.
And when you have a memory, like I could have all the stuff and like, yeah, I love wrestling, I could watch it on TV, you know, I could have, you know, comic books, but at the same time I've been so poor that I've had to let it all go. Yep. That to me, it holds a little place in my heart to keep certain pieces, sure. But like I can let it go at the drop of a hat if my kids need something, my wife needs something.
All right, I got a question for the three of you.
Go ahead.
King, I see a little collection behind you. Okay, I see a little collection behind you. And Dre, I see the damn things just piling up. You're not even bothering showing them. You're just stacking them up.
I can't help it, brother.
You're like me. It's terrible. It's terrible. Like growing up, did you have like the coolest toy? Did you have like were you that kid that was like yeah, this Star Wars just dropped. I got my
no. I was not.
Okay. I got a theory, right? We all suffer from like what I call ancient FOMO, right? Whereas kids we didn't have it. But now it's like, bitch, I got a job, my bills are paid. Hell yeah, I'm picking up that Thanos figure because it's mine and I don't need it, but it's mine and I'm gonna take it. You know, you know what
Pay
I mean?
me in cash.
So is it true for like is your collecting habits? Do you think your collecting habits came from that like upbringing?
For me, I could tell you, I know exactly where my collecting habit came from. My wife, she has heard this story. My parents got divorced when I was 13, and we had a house with like that was beautiful. I had a room about the size of my office that I'm in, and I literally full of toys. And when my parents got divorced, everything got boxed up and got sent away to my uncle's house in Bergen, Jersey. And I remember going there one day and I was like looking in the garage to get some of my stuff and it was all gone.
I knew it. I
was like,
I was like, I feel like this. Ugh.
And I was like, what's going on? And I go look at my cousin's neighbors across the street. And these kids are playing with my Voltron. They got my Thundercats. And I'm sitting there like, what's going on? My uncle's like, oh, we just had to get rid of the stuff out of the garage. We didn't think you'd miss it. And I'm like,
those are my toys. Those
are mine. And I lost it, dude. And I said, you know, ever since that day, it has been like, it is eating at me. And I told my wife, I said, there's certain pieces I need to get back in my collection. And she knows I want a Voltron. And that's the last thing I need to get. And she even tried to buy me one for Christmas. And then the company screwed us over. So I had to get it as we got the refund. But she's going to get me it. Like, I love her that she's like, I've seen the shit you've been through. I got it.
Oh God, here we go.
And this is we do this to each other all the time.
You got it.
Oh, you mean something like this?
No. I want the Super 7. I want Super 7 Voltron.
Joint. That's a good one. But that Voltron.
That's fire. No, that's dope. That's dope. I want a Super 7 Voltron. I don't want the Go Lion Japanese one that I had that you got all the lasers and just shoot all the crap out of it with all the little like plastic stuff. I said I had that. I've seen it. The Chokujin version is like $900. So I said, Super 7, $70. I'm good with that.
I remember. Okay, so I gotta say how I grew up. Like my dad was a pastor, so the house was super religious. You had all the like deacons and the diaconesa that would come to the house and stuff like that. And I remember early on, like I used to doodle everywhere. I remember somehow I got those giant like school posters, like those fucking giant.
Oh yeah.
I remember getting one, and I would always doodle a character, and there was always this. I had this giant like mural thing going on, and then I had my Johns were Ninja Turtles like that. Like I tell you right now, dude. Once I get through a lot of this stuff, my goal is to get every single Ninja Turtle that I ever had, and I had damn near every single one of them. You know what I'm saying? Because that was me mowing lawns. That was me doing, taking out old ladies' trash. I remember it was $5.14. $5.14 would get me a new damn Ninja Turtle. And sure enough, that's what I fucking used to spend my money on. Anyway, I remember one point, one of them one of the ladies from the church got in her head that like, esto está endiablado. Aquí hay un demonio. And I'm like, I'm just a kid drawing fucking superheroes and monsters. Like what? And I remember them taking all my artwork and burning it, and then taking all my like I had a huge collection of aliens and all my turtles, and they literally went. And in one fucking night, all that shit was gone. Why? Because they thought it was fucking
demonic and evil.
And I'm like, God damn. I'm like, you guys, that's the kind of environment that was kind of like. I was part of. My mom never cared. My mom was like, deja con los son juguete. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Even today, like when my pop comes into this, he goes, esto cosa fea. I'm like, yo, I know you don't get fandom. I get it. But these are my jams. And I was like, I'll make money off of this. So relax. You know what I'm saying?
Con calma.
Which is hilarious because this last winter was the first time that my dad actually rocked one of my pieces, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm just talking to him because he understands the hustle. He understands, the money part of it. It's like, all right, well, why is that worth that? I'm like, wow, because I did this and I did this and I added this and this. Okay, no lo entiendo, but okay. But I did a baby Grogu rocking la bandera puertorriqueña, right?
Oh, nice.
Oh wait, it's right here. Bam! I did that son bitch right there.
Oh,
right?
I need one of those for me on my car.
This is my last one. So it's yours. I'll send it to you.
Oh, gracias, papi. So that's nice.
He goes, pero qué es esto tan feo? I'm like, Dad, listen to me. You don't understand. I was like, first, and he goes, espérate. Esa es la bandera puertorriqueña. I was like, hell yeah, that's la bandera. He said, pero ¿por qué tú? I say, look, because there's people who like this character. He said, pero eso monstruo feo. I'm like, no, it's not. Trust me, it's not even that. I was like, Dad, I'm telling you. And he goes, I don't understand this. I'm like, watch this. And I remember posting online, saying, hey, I got a few of these sticker packs ready to go right now. Sold them out instantaneously. While he's watching this thing, like my PayPal going, bananas. He goes, how'd you do that? I'm like, because that's what you taught me, man. That's what I'm saying, right? So I was like, here, this one's yours. He's like, pero qué es esto? I was like, it's a sticker for your car. He goes, oh, okay. And he put on the back of his fucking car. It's the only thing he rocks of mine. And honestly, the only thing is only because it has a Puerto Rican flag on it. Just FYI.
I gotta ask this, like, because my brain's working a mile a minute. Please tell me you have more stuff that's gotta.
Come on, man.
Because I gotta know. I just gotta know.
Yes, I have a whole slew of like Puerto Rico themed like artwork, right? So it's like I got the Wu-Tang Clan joint. I have I have just a random character, you know what I'm saying? El machetero. You know what
I mean? That's what's up. I like that.
I think that's
a Mando.
No, he did the machetero. It's a guy, it's like a machete guy.
He has done a Mando.
Yes, there's a Mando. I call it a Mando Borinquen. It's a Mando helmet, but there's like a hidden flag on it. There's a bunch of them. I did my tech gorilla and there's a ton of them.
Mhm.
I get a lot of love for that, and you know what I mean. Like when I traveled the country doing all the cons, like yo, we Puerto Ricans are everywhere, bro. Everywhere.
Facts.
It's
You guys
yo,
have seen me. You guys have seen me with the Spidey and the Hawkeye shirt.
Yes.
His design.
those are
Dope.
yeah. Those are man. You guys are killing me because I'm about to launch the site again, but I think I'm out of all my Puerto Rico shit, which is crazy. But yeah, not like I remember being in Alamo Comic Con, which is in San Antonio or somewhere in Texas. I remember driving me and my buddy Bun. Shout out to Bun Lung. He drove from New York to Philly, picked me up.
They know Bun.
You know,
Yeah, Bun's awesome.
over me, bro.
I got him into Bun.
Yo, okay, let me tell you an origin story. I was there when Bun did his first fucking show, and it was because me and my buddy Mickey, Dad's Cartoons, shout out to Dad's Cartoons, who pushed him to sell his artwork at cons. And now that dude is banking off the cons, and it was
That boy hustles, man.
Gotta shout him out.
He is.
That's it right there, brother. That is the legend right there. But I remember one show, he picked me up in Philly, and we went straight. We drove straight 32 hours from Philly to San Antonio. Wagada. And I get there, bro. I stayed at a buddy's house. I had to literally go back to the house and print more Puerto Rico shit because I didn't know there was that many damn Puerto Ricans in San Antonio. Bro, when I tell you, I'm sitting at the kind of had this one giant rack, it's like 12 feet tall, and I had pictures and all my frames and everything on there. And all I hear is where fucking people coming over. Yo, I never seen shit like this. Yo, how much, bro? Just going left and right. The funniest part, I'll give you one. It's hilarious. Don't get mad, guys. But these little kids, little country boys, right? Dad, I need that America flag.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
I'm like, and the dad goes, that's damn near good American flag. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. It's an absolute American flag. Yeah, absolutely. Bro, I sold more Puerto Rican flags as people thought they were American flags. There's a bunch of little kids in Texas right now with a fucking Puerto Rico flag on their goddamn wall or on their fucking car thinking, hey, man, listen, it is what it is.
America. Hey, rock it. I think, honestly, like, and these guys know this. Smitty and I've talked about it when I did the thing last year for Black History Month. When we were talking about just like being a minority coming up in the fandom, what it's like to, especially being,
people don't get it. People don't get it.
It's a very different mindset that I've had, and I like they know. Smitty knows this. Bob knows this for certain. I'm a huge Miles Morales fan. If you could not, whoop, or over there, and exactly, I can't. It's somewhere over here. And my daughter, the toddler, I showed her Into the Spider-Verse, and she's like got the lowest attention span. She's a baby. I didn't think she was gonna. She sat and watched the whole thing with me. Sat on the couch, watched it, danced when the music came up, and I was like, I even bought her one of these little ones, the little Spidey Amazing Friends.
Oh yeah.
So I gave it. She plays with it, and the Ghost Spider. So I was like, awesome, And it's like I'm starting to see kids be able, like us, when we were younger, grow up and see characters that look like them that can. Because like my wife says, she's like, you're light skinned, Andre. You I'm like, babe, it's not. The difference is when people look past that, and that could be light skinned. The minute I speak Spanish, and you can tell that I have an accent and that I'm not American, or they see the tattoo with the flag on my arm, it becomes a whole different mindset. And then it's like I feel like I got to defend it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's like, I love Batman and Captain America, two of my absolute favorite superheroes. But Spider-Man and Miles have become, like number. I've kind of unseated them, and it's been what I've been collecting lately.
What's crazy is that I think what's tough to understand is that in fandom, like I early on I didn't understand how important inclusion was, right? Like growing up, like you had your superheroes or superheroes. I don't think I put the onus of like they don't look like me. It wasn't until I got to like high school when it really dawned on me that like the way I compose myself, the way I speak, the way I look, made a difference, right? Because I went to grade school in predominantly Puerto Rican. I was in the hood, so I was like most predominantly Puerto Rican. When I went to middle school, it was one of the few schools in Philly that was super integrated. Like that was their point. So it was like everybody and their mama represented there. So it's like you never stuck out. You were just Alex. That's just Alex. You know what I'm saying? I was the artist back then. I used to fucking doodle everywhere. That's it. That's what people. I used to recreate comics. That's what I did. I sketched over Venom and Spider-Man. But it never dawned on me how important it is. To like high school, and that's when I started kind of like, wait a minute, why isn't there a Puerto Rican like superhero? What's wrong with me? You know what I mean? And that's when those questions started coming in, and that's when it like my eyes really opened up of like, wow, like forget the superheroes. Like, are there even Puerto Rican artists behind the scenes? Like, are we working? That's what
hit me.
Yeah, that's what pushed me over the edge of like, wait a minute. Okay. I remember early on, 5th, 6th grade, like we had like this art contest, and they're like, find yourself your favorite boxer. And I remember drawing Chavez, because in my mind, I grew up in a church where there was all Hispanics and Mexicans and Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and Nicaragua, every front. So it's like, for me, being Hispanic was inclusive to all,
Facts.
Right?
We don't segregate. You speak our language, it's who you are.
Good, right? Because we were in a city where you didn't have that. So if you spoke Spanish, like, wait a minute, I'm already connected. But then you figure out real quick, some Spanish is not the same as the other Spanish, and somebody's saying something like, wait a minute, you can't say that word. Like bichito. Bichito was one of those words as a kid I laughed like a fucking baby. Because every time this old lady say, pero venga con eso bichito, mi cara, I'm like, bichito means little penis, just in Puerto Rico, just FYI, right? But everywhere else, like little mites or flying little fucking insects. So I'm like, this lady's talking about little fucking dicks in her face. I'm like, this is great. And then we're in church, like, oh my god, it's great. But when I got to high school, like I started fiending those memories of like, I remember being on the island. I remember going on vacation a bunch of times. I remember visiting, but it never connected. I'm like, yo, that's you. Like, there's a part of that island that you will never ever or can ever walk away from. It's who you are. It's a part of what made the what you're seeing here. So it's like I took it hard, because at first I was like, all right. So then my mind went right away like, well, okay, what's out there? Like, was Miles Morales the first like Puerto Rican? Actually, that's he's actually I see why half black and half Puerto Rican. Holy shit! Like that was, yeah. Like for me, White Tiger was my first kind of like.
Yep, I would have said White Tiger, because he was, or the original Iron Fist, because he was also Hispanic.
The original Iron Fist too, but White Tiger always drew my attention. That was the one that, like, I remember in high school specifically looking for a Puerto Rican superhero, and I remember like I used to draw him all over the place, and I kind of fiend away, because again, you go into corporate world, and like once I got to college, it was a little more diverse, and then I went down to Miami. Forget about it. I was people thought I was Cuban when I was down there, so it's like but then I started vibing with Cuban artists and how they infused their culture into their work, and I'm like, man, like I'm here drawing superheroes and shit like that, and I'm like, damn, like, am I fucking up? Like for a long time I had a chip on my shoulder. It's like, man, I'm not doing enough. So I don't really know. Is every single production piece that I do will forever have a Puerto Rican flag on it. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody does. You look at that micro, look on the side of that fucking helmet. You're gonna see a star and 2 stripes. You're gonna see that. Well, that my production piece. I'm talking about the pieces. I'm talking about the pieces that are like produced, right? So like, shit.
He's talking about the good quality stuff.
Good quality shit, yeah.
But as an example,
there it is, right there.
The back of
the jacket, right there.
This 1-of-1 custom
Yep.
has the flag.
Absolutely. So this is one of the fortunate pieces I was able to work on last year, actually the year before. This is a company called Pure Arts, right? Pure Arts, they do a lot of licensed collectibles. So if you go to Pure Arts, you may own a few of these things. They're everywhere. They do everybody, and they decided to kind of like play in the designer toy field. So they found an artist, Daytona, who designed this like fucking dope ass robot, right? And then what they did was they reached out to a couple of the toy guys, like the blogs and the shops, and they offered them colorways. So it's like, okay, we have a toy that we designed, we have the artist who designed it, he has his own colors, but feel free to design your colors and however you want it. And it was one of the first kind of like big spotlights, other than the Quicks piece. I'm gonna twist it. Quicks put me on the map, hardcore with my Tech Gorilla. Oh, I gotta play a little show off, man.
Of course, brother. This is your time.
So what changed the what really changed the course of what I'm doing is this piece here, right? This is my Tech Gorilla. Okay, so this is based on that little mini micro that Smitty got. I have them somewhere. The Tech 63 was designed by my homie Quicks. That dude, if you talk about hustlers, that's the guy I look up to every freaking day. So he designed this cool little robot character. And then what I did was I at one point we were doing a design contest so that all different artists drew his helmet in their own style. So then what I did was I designed that kind of like gorillaed out face, right?
That was fire, man.
So it's his character, his toy, just reimagined through my eyes, right? And then we went back and forth. They came up with the body style, and then they had a prototype done. I didn't know this was happening. So then one day somebody started tagging me, and just my feed blew up. Yo, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? Because shout out to Devil Toys, the producer of this toy. He completely plastered my name all over the promo and packaging, right? So that's the design that I drew up. That's the toy is based on, right? And that's just, like I said, my take on his Tech 63. We shopped it around. Devil Toys picked it up, and that put me in a spot where I will forever be grateful to Quicks and Devil Toys, because that opened up my clientele to an international level, which is bananas. Okay, so it's crazy. The crazier part about the story, I'm not sure how many people know this, but this black and green colorway, right? This like crossed out, simple kind of, hey. So again, I saw the prototype online and I reached out. I'm like, yo, that's fine. I didn't know you were working on it. This is cool as shit. I'm like, yo, is there, and you know me, man, hustling. I was like, hey, is there any way I can pitch a couple colorways so maybe I can have a color on this toy? He goes, yeah, man, like send me what you think, and then we'll talk. We'll go from there. I did one. I did this one. I sent it to him. I said, look, if we're gonna do something, like, I would love for this to be the colorway, bro. It didn't take none but 30 seconds. He responded like, hell yes. Can I use that as the first colorway? This was the first toy drop. Has my DNA all over it. Yes, it's a collaboration. Yes, it's not my character. This is a Quicks character. But this one right here, man, is what started everything. And that's when I started the journey that I on today. I'm building this giant story. This is kind of my
magnum opus.
Yeah, like I've been technically without really knowing it, unconsciously working on this for 20 years, to be honest, since I was in college. And some of these stories, some of the origin stories of my story, which I call the Prime Ape Chronicles, started back when I was in my animation days, man. I have a storyboard. I remember living with my roommate, drawing storyboards and just plastering on the wall, because we didn't have furniture, bro. We had two bean bags, 2 TVs, and just empty walls, right? So we would just sketch and draw and just work out stories and work out shit, and some of that's going to be like featured in the story I'm writing. But this black and green colorway is a major part of my story, because it ties the past of the story to like the end of the story, and it's basically a call to arms, right? It's like, this is the colors of the rebellion. This is the colors there. Here, there it is, right there. See, so I've been proliferating the colorway, the black and green colorway with the stripes and the thing. It's like, this comes at a point in my story where, again, the main character, a gorilla, P-Rilla, he fights. Even when the community is hating on him, even when the community doesn't believe on him, he fights for them. He puts his life on the line for them. He almost dies for them. So when the antagonist force comes back, weeks later, where he's still recovering, he's not his full strength, and he still goes to battle for this community. He still fights for this community. He still will defend this community. And the call to arms is that at that point, the community sees how much he's done, and they don the colors themselves and go back him up, right? So this is how I justify other characters rocking my black and green, because this is part of that idea and force that came back to help the main character when he was down, only because he was loyal to them. You know what I'm saying? So I've been proliferating this black and green colorway as much as I can as I'm building out the story, so that you can tie visually the name with something cool, right? But back to the Puerto Rico enjoying, right? Because in my story, there's some origins that happen on the island, where he comes from, how he got there. Like I will rep Puerto Rico, even if it's not at the forefront. I will rep it wherever I go. And as you can see there, when I had the chance to design the actual box, when I had the chance to design my own graphics on a piece, I went with my black and green. I went with the cross, and of course,
The flag.
it has to be the flag. And on the figure itself, on his left arm, he rocks a freaking Puerto Rico flag. So you cannot deny that no matter where we go and no matter where I step, I'm going to try to rep PR as much as I humanly possibly can, without being, in your face about it. I want you to let you know that, hey man, like, we out here, and we're gonna be in places that you don't expect, but we're here.
I'm curious, have you ever thought about doing or working with the conventions? Like I know, like, there's like a guy like Latinx Negro on IG. He works with some of the conventions that are local on the East Coast and out going out towards California, that have like actually woke, because we all know the coof took everybody out, so like no one's trying to go to those cons.
Yeah.
But have you ever thought about like doing something like that at a convention, like going out to like and not to, and I hate to be exclusive in that regard, like of just going to like a Hispanic only, or looking for artists that are just like Hispanic only artists to like work with, or because of your inclusiveness, like you said before, which I love. Have you thought about working with, like, collabing with other artists like Native American or Mexican or Cuban, to like kind of see what you can get?
100%. A couple things. So like I vibe real well with Nertino here in Philly, right? Nertino is a Latino owned, run, and all the vendors are Latino, right? So we do it here at the oh my god, here in North Philly, en el Taller Puertorriqueño, which is like basically a museum / art space, like a beautiful community-based kind of place, gorgeous place. And yeah, so like I've done their show probably the last 5-6 years. We haven't done it because of COVID, but it's one of those shows that, like, yeah, man, it's for the community, it's for my people. Collaborations on that level, it's funny that you say that, because shout out to Siempre Palante podcast, right? Siempre Palante, he has been, if you guys don't follow this dude, he's awesome. Giraldo, he runs a podcast where he is showcasing Latino excellence. So no matter what industry you are, he's found, from artists to doctors to community leaders, and he basically just interviews them. We have been talking about putting on a show which basically points to that, right? It's going to be a Latino show where I want to collab with artists from all over the Latino communities. But specifically, what I'm looking for is I want to reach out to the island, and I want to mine the island. I know a handful of artists that are there. I know a lot of Puerto Rican artists that are here working and doing the cons and doing their thing. But I'm looking for specifically Puerto Rican toy artists or toy designers. I haven't found many. And I'm doing it specifically so that we have a voice, a united voice, right? It's like, look, we're here, we're making noise. Is that sometimes, when you're in the corporate situation, you have to kind of, you got to play the part. You know what I'm saying? You got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to navigate those fucking ridiculous ass, racist ass waters sometimes. But we ain't, that shit is not stopping us. You know what I mean? And that's what the point of that fucking show is. So yeah, man, like we're working towards that, right? Have I done it before? Dude, a lot of my homies are Latinos. So I think we do it just because, right? Like without even, without even blinking. Surge and Urge and Cash and Carlos Denoso and Ink One and all these dudes, we vibe because we know we don't have to, we know it's a and I'm not knocking anybody else. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm never gonna work with anybody else. What I'm saying is that there's a different connection when you link up with someone who, without saying a word,
get your struggle.
They understand, right? Because when I came on, you're right, man. Like there's a yo no sé cuál, right? When I get in a room with another Puerto Rican, I know I'm like I can smell you from over here, motherfucker. Like I know you know.
Exactly, facts.
When I mentioned rice with huevos, you were like, yeah, I know what that tastes like. I know what that tastes like.
Been there, done that. Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a different vibe, and I'm currently exploring that, right? Like I've navigated these waters. I've navigated these waters of corporate life and the corporate art world, and I've been told to my face, I'm not giving you a raise. You're not good enough. You're never gonna make that kind of money. Like I've heard it all. I've been laid off because I spoke my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like it exists. And if you don't understand, like it's hard to explain it to a lot of folks. But if I can come into a room and I can create, like what does that what is that? What is it that when let's say two Puerto Ricans from the same upbringing sit down in a room and create together, what kind of magic happens? What does get created? Where in where the path that I'm on, the story that I'm telling, it incorporates that, but it's just me. It's me being a geek and a nerd and a fucking, doing my homage to Planet of the Apes and fucking smart goddamn monkeys and shit. You know what I mean? Like that's where what I'm putting together and what you're seeing is kind of like it's me. It's a representation of me. Like and a lot of it will be kind of, I'm pulling from what I know. I'm pulling from my stories, and these stories that I tell are universal, man. Like you don't have to be Puerto Rican to know what a struggle is. You don't have to be fucking Japanese to know what the struggle is. Like if you understand the struggle, then when I tell you that story, you're going to connect. And then I have, things for people that never struggled, and then there's that side of the story. And it just I'm just trying to be as real to myself as humanly possible when I'm telling the Primate Chronicle. So keep an eye out, because that's slowly getting put together. It's a fucking epic story, and I am constantly working on it on top of all the freelance, on top of the 9 to 5, on top of my own shit. Like it's just what I do, man. It's fucking.
Well, I'm gonna tell you now, whatever you do with that, as far as that collab working with Siempre Balante, you let me know, because I would love to advertise that here and have and we can work with them. And I'd love to work with, and I want to, that's something that for me, it would mean a lot for me, because coming up, I definitely struggled with identity when I was coming up, and these guys don't really know that, but I did, because it was like, I went to Catholic school, and I was one of 2 minorities in middle school, and I was one of 4 minorities in high school. And when I was around my family, it was, oh, you're too educated, or as my cousin said, white, to be with us. And then when I was around my other friends, they were like, oh, well, you're too brown to get this. So I was always struggling to figure out where my identity was. And it wasn't until like I got into college and I really thrived and I built an anime club that was like, no matter what you are, we're going to accept you, because you all love anime, martial arts films, and Asian culture. And that blew up. And that really was something, because my mom, when she was alive, may she rest in peace, she was 100% supportive of that.
Yeah.
She was like, I love the fact that you have Spanish, Black, Asian, Indian, white, whatever it was. And I blew up. And it's something that taught me a valuable life lesson that, yeah, my kids are both, my son, and both my daughters are half white and they're Spanish.
Yep.
Because it stopped me. I would love them never to have that struggle.
Yep. Facts.
Like, as their dad, I will always be supportive and love them. And I don't care what the color of your skin is. I love you because you're my kids.
Facts.
But
Facts.
I don't ever want them to go through what I went through, being spit on, looked at differently, denied opportunities, all because I did not fit a mold that people expected.
Well,
And that's why I do now.
yeah.
Like, I try to produce that opportunity for people, not just like me, but other people like that have gone through that struggle.
Yeah. I think the more I sit and the more conversations I have with, I'm assuming you're roughly my age. And just,
I'm 43.
Okay, so you're an old motherfucker, but that's fine because I'm 42, so we're good. You're right.
I'm an old man. Sorry.
Please, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
What are you, like 73? Where we at now?
Stone Age. He's Ric Flair.
5'3".
He's Ric Flair. Woo!
What was that, Kevin Hart? Like, damn. Oh, sorry, I didn't.
Damn.
No, but like what I've noticed is that story is real true. Wait a minute, who did that one? Put that back up.
No, that was wrestling pins.
Oh, wrestling. That looked like a buddy of mine, Ink. No, but like, yeah, that story keeps ringing true because, again, just like I said, when I was raised, the more I think about it, I was raised kind of sheltered, right? Like, we grew up in the hood, which is predominantly Puerto Rican, right? In what they call el bloque de oro. Well, that was further down, but still in that same region of like, yo, that's this little Puerto Rico, right? And my grade school, 1st through 4th, again, I want to say it was 95% Puerto Rican. When I got to middle school was when I realized that there was something different, because that was the first time I took ESOL classes, right? ESOL is like the second language or whatever. English is second language or whatever. And but what was weird with me was that I was exposed to Saturday morning cartoons. I was exposed to comics. I was exposed to the movies. Like, yeah, my dad never watched the movie. Never. Like, that was not his thing. He was 100% religious. Like, whatever. Like, going to movie theaters was you didn't do that. Like, my mom was the cinephile, right? The movie freak. Like, I remember. I love her to death. I remember we used to walk from home to school. And between that walk, there was one of those mom and pop like movie, like VHS, like fucking movie store. What is it? Video rental stores or whatever. And every morning we would stop by, and she would let me pick a movie. And my shit was fucking horror. Her and I we were horror fanatics, like whatever. I've seen every single B movie and C movie that you could think of, like, because I would pick it, she would watch it, and then when I got home from school, she was like, "Okay, you can watch that one. That's fine. You got to close your eyes here. You got to do this." But she would always let me do my thing. So I grew up in this little bubble because it was just me and her. Like, my brothers never were into it. Like, my brothers were always chasing girls, and I was a little chunky little fat nerd. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was who loved horror movies and toys and shit. And again, going into middle school, the people I gravitated towards were the nerds, right? They were the comic book guys. Like, I remember drawing comics with my buddies and recreating, Mortal Kombat battles, and like reading like choose your own adventure books, and like that was my jam. Like, but again, my extended family, even the people I was hanging out with at the house, they weren't about any of that. So it was always kind of like I kept it to myself. I was a pretty smart kid, which again was different than most. So like even my own family, like there's no artists in my family. There's no, like this is a whole new trajectory. So nobody knew how to handle me. That's when I got to high school, when I realized, holy shit, like, one, fuckers hate me just because, like, Jesus fucking Christ, are you serious? Like, I didn't do shit to you. Like, what the fuck? But then it was very cliquey. So then I still gravitated to Latinos. But even those Latinos weren't fucking nerds, right? They were just, they were into everything but. So I kind of like that circle of friends kind of kept going smaller and smaller. And there's a homie of mine, shout out to Juan. who we were into comics, and we were the only ones that were into comics, and it was like, it was again these small circles. So I always had these like blinders, and because to me it was like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you like the fucking Incredible Hulk, I like the Incredible fucking Hulk. Let's fucking hang. Holy shit! Like, where's, like, to me, fandom is so important, because I believe it's the one thing that can tie all of us together, and that's been proven left and right. Every time I'm at the cons, like when I'm at a con, dude, I feel great. Like, yeah, there's some Latino love that comes through, and people flip out when they see some of the Puerto Rican stuff I do, but it's everybody else. You know, I bring a specific style to the table, right? It's very cartoony, it's like, it's what I love, right? So it's like when you see I do a Deadpool, well, it's not the same Deadpool as everybody else. It's my Deadpool, right? So it's my version of the Deadpool. But guess what? Deadpool's universal. I don't care who you are. There's people from all walks of life who understand it. So it's like fandom. If people can embrace fandom more, which don't get it twisted, I think nowadays is way more embraced than ever before.
Oh
And
yes, most definitely.
seeing like that congealing, right? Because it's like, it don't matter. Like, yo, I don't care what you do, who you are, where you came from, what color you are. You could be purple, but you fucking dig the Silver Surfer. Holy shit, I'm a fucking Galactus fool. What? Let's get, you know what I mean? Like, it breaks boundaries and it breaks everything. So it's like, how do we take that and proliferate it, right? So it's like, my kids, I'm bringing them up the same way, right? I like, they're you know, my wife is half German and half Irish, right? So like, my kids are half white, half Puerto Rican. They're going to run into these struggles, especially the little one. The little one, it's undeniable that dude is not like, you know what I mean? my
little one.
My oldest one, I got plans. You know, I'm gonna drop the A from Rivera, and when he gets into MIT, I'm like, oh, sorry, it's Rivera, not River. I'm so sorry, I apologize. So we're back in the building, bitch. that's Caden River. Yeah. Caden River, sure. Give me those scholarships. Yes, and I'll take that.
Exactly. See, it's so awesome, and it's like I talk to my wife about this a lot, and it's such a great time to actually talk to somebody else that gets it. And it's so cool, because like I love that understanding that you have, you know, especially that you have two kids that are just like mine, that are, you know, but again, we both hope that they never see that struggle.
We
You know,
hope.
let us have that. That's what Boppy gets the struggle. Mommy will do what she's got to do, but Boppy gets the struggle. And I think that even anybody gets that, because I think both these guys can agree that their dads were the ones that carried their struggles, and their moms were the ones that did what they got to do to hold them down. And I think that, you know, I lucked out. My mom held me down. May she rest in peace.
Yeah,
That's why she's on my arm.
You said that earlier too, and I think my mom let me be me. Not only let me be me, she never questioned it, and she always pushed me to do more and to be better. And I'm talking specifically about this art. She got it. She like, I remember we watched wrestling together when I was growing up. Like she understood fandom. I don't think you can explain it like that, but I'll say, Mommy, Undertaker's coming. Ay, mira, pero ven acá, ponte Undertaker. Ese viene ahí. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's those things that were like, I get it now that she understood that. You know, I tell this to everybody. I struggled hardcore when I had that back-to-back layoff, like in my head, just in everything. Because at that point, like, I had the house, I had the two kids, I had 2 cars at the time, and then it goes from one day being employed to the next day having nothing. And I'm like, and I live paycheck to paycheck. Like, that was my, I didn't have, so it's like, holy shit, like, I gotta do something. And I couldn't tell you how many fucking nights I like, the first person I would call after leaving a con wasn't even my wife, it was my mom. And I was like, Mami, ven acá, mira, vendí esto, esto pasó, que si esto, que si el otro. And she was like, she always was super proud. She was always super proud. And she's like, keep it going. She's like, you're not there yet. Keep going. Sigue pa'lante, sigue pa'lante, sigue pa'lante. And even when I had a bad day, I would be like, Mom, I didn't make $1. I don't know how I'm gonna fucking make it through the week. Like, you know, the kids gotta eat. Like, the car note's 3 months past due. Like, and she would always say, Alessi, no te preocupes, sigue pa'lante. Sigue pa'lante was one of those things that no matter what conversation I had, is the one piece of advice she always gave me. And it basically means keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember once, like it's like a shark. If I stop, I'm dead. I'm fucking dying, bro. Like if I stop what I'm doing now, everything fucking collapses, right? But I remember conversations with her, like even fucking se me paró pelo. Even before I knew it, I remember plenty of times she would be like, "Tú, Alessi, un día va a trabajar por Disney." And I'm like, "Mom," I was like, "Mom, no, Disney already said no. Like, shut up. Like, stop playing. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, don't gas me up like that, you know." But she always had this like, she believed in me, and not that like my dad didn't, but he's still hard.
Moms are always different.
Mom was something different. And that, I mean, look, I carry that shit with me every fucking day right there. It says sigue pa'lante.
Sigue pa'lante.
Because at the end of the day, if I'm having a fucking bad day, all I can hear is those fucking words in my head. And it's like, yo, that's all that fucking matters. And you know what? 3 years ago, when again, this was coming off, I think I was on the road for 4 fucking years, like 4.5, no bullshit, almost 5 years, like 4.5 years of just doing cons, right? Bro, at one point, my biggest year, I think I did like 52 shows in no bullshit. It was not 52. That's 52 weeks, and there were 42 shows. 42 shows. That's either a con, a gallery opening, or a fucking street festival. I didn't give a shit. Like if you gave me a table and I could put artwork on, I was there. I traveled the fucking country. I did the whole night. Yeah, listen, I survived. I didn't thrive. I survived. Like by the end of it, like I got a couple cars repoed. I almost lost the house. Like, but we survived. I lost her during that. And it was for all the good times I had, it was a fucking struggle, bro, because it was no longer paycheck to paycheck. It was con weekend to con weekend. If I had a bad weekend, I had a fucking bad week. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was doing odd jobs wherever I could, like, but what kept me going was sigue pa'lante. And when I lost her, like it sucked. And I'll tell you why. Because the one person who fucking truly believed in me didn't get to see where I am today. You know what I'm saying? And that shit stings. So it's like, you guys gotta fucking appreciate the fucking journey. And this is why I go back to that shit, because it ties all together, right? It's the journey is the fucking most important shit, period. And don't you fucking know that when I went back to corporate, you know who I fucking work for?
Disney.
Motherfucking Disney.
The mouse.
Motherfucking the mouse. I told myself I would never go back to corporate after I got laid off back to back, because the two instances I got laid off of were bullshit. Were absolute bullshit. And we can go into that story off camera, because I'm not gonna fucking blast anybody. But it was absolute bullshit. One, like I told you, was because I spoke my mind. The other one was because I was too fucking good at what I was doing. How the fuck does that work? I don't fucking know. But I stayed on that grind. I was like, I'm not going fucking back to work. I'm going to make this fucking work. But after 4.5 years, man, like, you know, when you're at that point, go to bed. Good night, Bubba. I love you. Good night. When you're at that point and you're struggling, any little hiccup, that puts you in the hole quick. You go to bed, Bubba? Ven acá, negro. I know you don't want to go to bed.
Oh God, my daughter's the exact same way.
I know they struggle, but they're good kids, yeah.
Yeah, we love them.
Dale, the best kid, the best. We the best. Because of the con circuit, because of the shows, I was hosting gallery custom shows. I was in it, man. I was knee deep in it, like, you know, struggling, but surviving. Because of the cons, because of the shows, I met a toy maker named Ryan Rutherford. Right? He goes by Rutherford Industries. This man is a motherfucking genius. Like, when it comes to how this man thinks and how he creates his toys and customs, and you know, I had invited him to a show. One of my first shows was like a group show where I would take over different locations, and we would host an art show, right? So this first one was at an actual designer toy store, and he 3D printed this robot thing with tentacles. I'm like, what the like, dude? Like, how do you even think of these things? You know what I mean? So because of him, he worked in the pet industry, and I knew that. I didn't know the extent of it. This man is, if you own a dog or a cat or any type of pet, more than likely you have purchased something that he had his hand on. Garen fucking, this guy is that fucking deep. So he is beyond a mentor. He's beyond a best friend. He's my boss now, which is great. But he I remember he's coming up to me. I was coming off of Philly Comic-Con. He hits me up. He said, "Yo, bro, I'm doing a show for Horrible Adorables. I gotta drop that in because they're fucking a beautiful couple, and they were doing a show in downtown. He said, "Hey man, I'm here in Philly. You mind coming through? I gotta ask you a question." I'm like, "Can you fucking tell me on the phone?" God damn it! Like, all right, cool, whatever. I get to see the show. I get to hang out. He looks up. He's like, "What exactly do you do?" And I'm like, "Bro, I do it all. Like I have no choice, right? Like I made a commitment to myself that whatever money I made comes from art or some type of artistic way, whether it be cooking or, the fucking, dropping decks in the backs of houses. That's all creative shit. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Like cutting angles and like, it's, you know what I'm saying? So I always told myself, I'm going to push myself as hard as I can creatively. So I know a lot. Like I give me Photoshop, give me Illustrator, give me Maya and Animate and you name it, I'm in it, right? Like I'm gonna make a buck off of it. So I'm like, bro, what do you need? Like, what do you need? Give me a specific need, and I'll tell you if I can do it or not. He's like, yeah, I need to mock up some photos, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, yeah, I got you. No worries. So I go to his house. He fucking drops a bomb on me. He's like, hey, by the way, we're shooting the pitch for the Disney license. We're gonna start doing Disney dog toys, and we need an extra hand to come up with designs and shit like that. So I'm like, what? So I'm like, all right, cool, I'm in. So I sketched out 3 fucking pieces, handed them over, went home. Didn't think anything of it. I'm still doing the cons. I'm still working. I'm still on the road. A couple weeks later, he hits me up. He said, hey Alex, man, can you come back? I have a freelance gig. We're doing some holiday stuff. I just need some design work. I'm like, I'm in. Because at this point, in my mind, I'm like, this is a freelance client now. This is perfect. Like, I'm in. So we go in. I do these crazy Santa Claus, elf, weird stuff. Hand them over. I'm about to leave, and I look down, and there's a box. And inside the box are fucking toys. My fucking toys. And I'm like, is that the fucking Oogie Boogie and the fucking Jack Skellington and the fucking Zero that I did? He go, oh yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, we landed a license because of the 3 products you did. And I'm like, shit, that's fucking awesome. He goes, yeah, by the way, can you come back next week? Because we have a conference call with the Disney folks to kind of finalize everything and pretty much kick off the license. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, sure. I don't know why I'm needed, but sure, I'll be there. So there I'm sitting with the CEO of the company, Ryan, and on the video conferences, the Disney team. I'm giggling in my bed. I'm like, motherfucking mom was fucking right. Son of a bitch. Like, this is crazy.
They always are.
Dude, I just, it still blows my mind to this day, because you got to understand, when I left college, Disney, Blue Sky, Pixar, I applied to all major studios, and I still have all my rejection letters, right? Chilling in the back, right? Like, it just didn't happen for me. But now I'm sitting here, and they're freaking out because they love the 3 things that we did. They have, I could see them playing with them in the fucking screen, and I'm, on our table, we have ours, and I'm like, wow, this is surreal. Because first, I didn't know they were going to produce them, let alone pitch it to Disney, let alone win the license of it. So the conference goes down. I'm about to get up. CEO say, hey, Alex, can I talk to you for a second? I'm like, oh, shit, okay. Fucked up. Like, oh, damn, all right. So he closes the door. He's like, listen, I'm gonna just lay it out for you. I'll say, look, I can keep you on as a freelancer, and I can bring you on whenever we need help with the Disney license. He goes, or I can just straight out offer you a job. You be running Disney license 100% on your own. It'll be your baby. You tell me a number, and let's make it happen. And I'm like, but I promised myself I wouldn't go back to corporate. I'm like, shit. I couldn't say no. It was it was like out of a fucking movie. I wrote a number on a piece of paper, I slid it down across the room, and he looks at it, he's like, yeah, that's fine. And I'm like, motherfucker, I should ask for more.
That 100%. It's like, damn it, I should have asked for an extra 10,000.
I was like, oh fuck, I fucked up. But no, but it's put me on this path now, man, and it's realized dreams and bucket list items that I didn't even know I had. Like going to these conferences with like the Disney team, and like I remember going to this one ginormous like trade show thing in Vegas, and Disney's it's running it. So they had these giant displays up front, like the latest products that are coming out, right? Fucking huge, like literally out of a fucking rich fucking movie. Like it was like Tony Stark was fucking hosting a fucking event. You know what I mean? It's fucking yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is fucking crazy. And there they are, bro. I did a line of Toy Story 4 products, fucking Woody and fucking Ham and Wreck, like, and they're sitting there fucking front and center. This is the new pet line. This is, you know, Hyper Pet is doing it, but I'm like, it's my shit. Like they're jocking my shit. What fucking bizarre world am I in? And like I said, man, I'm super fucking appreciative of this opportunity. You know, like I said, you know, we've had rollouts in a bunch of major fucking big box stores, and I can't, what do I have to complain about, bro? And this is what I tell Smitty, and I tell everybody all the time, like, through all the dumb shit that happens, through all the nonsense and all the leaky roofs and fucking repoed cars and fucking, you know, whatever, like, at the end of the day, man, like, I'm literally living a dream of mine. It may not be everybody else's dream, but it's a fucking dream of mine. And I could say, yo, you can go to fucking PetSmart and pick this fucker up tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me. Well, not this one specifically. This one went to another store, I think TJX. But still, what I'm saying is that I have zero to complain about. I am fucking ecstatic where I'm at, and this is just the fucking beginning. And I want everyone to join me on this fucking journey. Whether it's just to see it, whether it's to fucking get some cool shit like Smitty does all the time. Fucking shout out to Smitty, always fucking supporting the homie. Like, you gotta understand, like, those purchases mean more to me than anything, because someone saw something I did and went deep in their pockets for the money they worked their asses off to put in my pocket. I will forever be grateful for every single motherfucking client, for every single supporter, for every single buyer. Like, to me, mind blowing. Put it like this: the other day,
Why do you say that? Because I've told these guys the whole reason I'm getting out of Funko was I'm like, I'm tired of them spitting out the same shit. It's like a different color. It's oh, we're chroming it. Oh, we're doing the black light. Oh, but it's the same model. It's the exact same thing. Where when I started, like, I literally caught you. I think I caught you on one of the first time I caught you was on one of the drawings, the group, because I actually think I had been following Bunny,
okay,
and you guys were doing a live where you had like
Yep.
6 of you guys in one stream, and everybody was doing these different sketches, and I was like, this is kind of cool.
That was a fun fucking show, because at that point we were arting for arting. We were all collectively in a funk. We were in the middle of a fucking pandemic, in lockdown, on a fucking Friday night, twiddling your fucking fingers. And I'm like, yo, if I'm gonna be twiddling my fingers, might as well twiddle my fingers with 6 other fucking dudes with me. You know what I mean? And that's I think the way that fucking started was, again, in my mind, cons are shutting down. I was like, all right, maybe I can fucking set up at the house and just go live and fucking sell shit. That was my plan, right? I was like, all right. So one day I started painting something, and a bunch of people started fucking getting on live and just fucking cracking jokes. And I remember not even fucking finishing work. It was just so fucking hilarious. And somebody mentioned, I think Bunny mentioned, it's like, oh, we should do this more often. And that's how that fucking show started. My dumbass trying to like formulate a plan to sell shit. Which then what happened was right when I went to make space, because as you can see, this is fucking crazy out here. I went to make some space. So I put everything in my fucking car, right? I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fucking put everything in it. Everything, my tables, my cloths, my tool bag, the fucking wall, the prints, dude. There was about 600 prints, about 1,200 pins, God, I couldn't tell you how many countless blank comics and patches and lanyards and stickers and posters. Like I fucking like you went to the you came to my table. I promised you were gonna fucking leave with something. Like I had everything from a fucking $1 to fucking $600. I don't give a shit. Like I gave a range for every fucking person. All gone overnight. And here I am sitting at this fucking virtual paint party, like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like I quit. Like I'm done. I can't recover
And
from
that
it.
was like literally like
Right
after I started following you. And then
these fuckers right here, they surprised my ass. And they host a show. And basically, I mean, I don't know how many artists came on. And they came on, hey, we got this for sale. Every single fucking sale that happened that night, they sent to me. And I was able to recover at least my art supplies. Like that was the pivotal moment in my career, because at that point I was still had calm mentality. I had started working at that point. It's just like that was like my safety net. If I was short on cash, I knew I could dig into the box, sell a couple prints, sell a couple pins, put them on sale, clearance, and I had something to fall back on. That shit was gone. So it's like, fuck, man, like what do I do? I'm now sitting where I think that when I sent it to the insurance company, which they fucking did not go fuck themselves, I lost about $18,000 worth of fucking inventory that nobody else can fucking sell. It's all my fucking artwork, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? But because of that show, and how many people support it, and how many people shared the story, and how many, like, bro, like I was able to recover all my art. Oh, because again, all my art supplies were gone too. Like every fucking thing I owned was gone. Like, and nothing. I started from I recovered everything, and then at that point I was like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? I can turn around and reinvest money to get all my con stuff back. Okay, now I have that, right? Now what? Because the cons they're non-existent. They were all fucking shut down. So it's like, no. This is the universe telling me, stop what the fuck you do. Stop chasing the dollar and start chasing your dream. And that's when I fucking reached out to all my contacts, everybody that I fucking did work with. I said, hey, listen, I am fully available to push my artwork onto production pieces. I want to produce. I want to be a producer. Instead of an artist, I want to produce shit so that on a weekend, instead of going to a fucking con, I could say, hey, listen, I just dropped 10 of these fucking colorways. Come get them. And I could hang out with my fucking kids and my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a big shift. I hadn't done that for 5 fucking years. That's the one thing that people don't understand. There's a sacrifice that comes with this. Like you were saying, like, when I was gone and away for the weekends, that means I was gone and away from my kids and my wife. Fuck, man. Like, holy shit. Like, when you're out, dude, there was a stint I was out for 4 weeks straight where I did a show in New York. Then I traveled to Ohio, went down to Tennessee, Jacksonville, Florida, and then came back up. Right. So instead of going back home and I just took the fucking, 4 weeks gone. Like, who the fuck does that shit? It's fucking, and I remember sitting and feeling so fucking guilty, like, because all this shit flooded my head when I lost everything. I'm trying to justify buying it all back. I'm trying to justify taking money out of their pockets so I can so I can replace my inventory. And it's like, I can't do that. But why was I on the con circuit? Why was I working that hard? Because I have that goal of creating toys and making toys. It's like, fuck, here's the opportunity. What's the worst that people can say if I say, can I make a toy with you? Is no. Guess what?
But what if they say yes?
But what if they say yes? And guess what? A lot of motherfuckers said yes. So between that point and now, I've had more production pieces or credited to production pieces than I ever had in my entire career. I have zero complaints. Yeah, I could bitch and moan about my fucking leaky faucet and the fucking dishwasher that fucking goes and floods my goddamn basement and destroys half my fucking collection. Yeah, I could bitch and complain about that. But motherfucker, you know what I also have? I fucking have DIY toys, and I have fucking production toys, and I have a fucking micros, and I have,
show off the
banana skinny cat.
Yes.
Oh shit. All right. This is one of those projects that instantiated off that weekend. So I understand how hard it is to get a production piece into motion, right? You have to design it, you have to get it sculpted, you have to send it overseas, get it molded up, pay for those fees, pay for the actual production of the pieces, pay for any painting that happens, pay for the ship. It's a ginormous undertaking. And I knew that where I want to be is a fucking giant gorilla, full color with some articulation. And I'm going to be like, damn, that's probably the same fucking price as a fucking brand new car, right? So it's like, how the fuck do I get there? So I reached out to the homie. Shout out to Tenacious Toys. Benny is a fucking legend. And I told him the situation. I'm like, look, here's where I'm at. I'm good. Financially, I'm okay. I'm stable. I'm not saving, but I'm not fucking losing every month. Right? Because I'm working a 9 to 5. They're treating me really good. I was like, so technically I don't need the con money anymore. But the con money was in my brain how I was going to fund my big toy, right? So it's like now I'm stable. Any money that I make at the cons, boom, it's just fucking getting padding an account that I can fucking eventually fucking purchase a fucking toy with. That's gone now. It's like fuck. Fuck, I can start. So I reached out to him. I'm like, look, I know the prices of I'm there. Like I am in. Like I'm doing it at work. I understand. I am fully immersed in how to go from a sketch to a product on the shelf. So I laid it out to him. I said, look, I have this concept. For me, it's the least expensive way to produce a figure, right? Single color DIY, no articulation, just a simple presentation. Bang, bang, bang. He goes, I fucking love it. Let's do it. I mean, this conversation happened all within an hour. And it was just like, I went from not having any future plans to having my own fucking DIY figure. Now, I come from, I come from Philly and I come from the hood. So I know my graffiti background and I know my graffiti family is ridiculous. So what I decided to create was a banana skinny cap. And there you go. All right, this is a solid vinyl piece, fully produced overseas. The cool thing about this is that to save money, not only is this design sketched up by me, I actually 3D sculpted this guy as well. So the prototype and everything that's based off is 100% me. So we were able to save a bunch of money just right off the bat because I fully immersed myself in it. And all this is a way for any artist to come through and paint it up and do all kinds of cool customs on. You got to go down the feed. I did a couple so far. This is a really fun platform to work with. I got a bunch of my artist friends doing a bunch of them. People all over the world. I am happy to say that this fucker right here is in brick and mortar stores in 4 places in the United States. Mexico, the Netherlands, the UK, and I think we're about to stock them in Australia. And also Cambodia's coming soon too. Yo, like it's a fucking dream come true, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like here is something that I completely had 100% hands on. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get that logo down there. Booyakasha. You know what I mean?
Nice.
I completely designed the piece. I completely designed the packaging. It is a baby of mine. This is like my third fucking born right here. And we've been fortunate, man. They've been catching fire. And again, they're available at tenacioustoys.com. Like you can pick one of these up yesterday. There's 10 colors altogether. I think we've released about 5 of them so far. One of them being the green with envy, which actually has a face that I designed too. So it has like an eyeball, a little smirk and shit like that. So it's pretty cool. For those that don't do the blanks, there's also one that's fully colored or whatever. But this was started it. And I gotta give a lot of credit to Benny because I designed his logo back in the day. And he turned his logo into a designer toy. And that dude, since day one, has always been fucking 100 with me. He's giving me credit on the fucking packaging, like the man's a legend. So shout out to Benny. This is one of those pieces that, again, hopefully is the seed that I'm planning for that big gorilla, right? So whatever I make on this is actually getting just directly is going to the factory again to put down my down payment on the next piece. So I hustle the way I know how to hustle. I'm taking my penny and I'm going to flip it into 2 cents. I'm going to take those 2 cents, flip it into 4. I'm going to take those 4, flip it into a fucking $1. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm hoping everybody can see the dream and the goal right here.
I want to do two points on what you just covered, especially with that and the tenacious design. So check out Booze and Buddies Instagram because there is a art, basically if you buy one of the danger dogs, customize it, send the pictures in. There's a chance you can come on to Booze and Buddies to sell your custom.
Not only sell, I'm gonna hype it the shit up, and we're gonna fucking auction it off, right? So if you guys don't know what the danger dog is, that's him right there. That's the danger dog. He's a cool little figure. Again, shout out because this design is based off of the logo that I created for Tenacious Toys, and then shout out to Nemo because he sculpted it up, and then it was produced in vinyl. So in the original packaging of this, my name is on it, which he didn't have to give me credit, right? Because all I did was design the logo, which was always meant to be a logo, never meant to be a toy. So now that we're back on season 2 of Booze and Buddies, I reached out to Benny again. I'm like, hey, Benny, man, what do you think about being a sponsor? He flipped the fuck out. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So we have our own discount code on Tenacious Toys. You can get a hell of a deal on some fucking toys. One of them being the little danger dogs, right? So to Smitty's point, we're starting our first art challenge, right? We didn't do it last year or last season. We're doing it this season. And what I'm challenging the community is, yo, real quick, I think right now these are $12 on Tenacious Toys.
12.
Go grab one and customize it. I don't care where your skill level is. I don't care. If I think it's cool, I'm gonna fucking put it on a show and fucking sell it. Right? So
now,
I had
to
to
tell you. I also want to make the point. And when they auction stuff, you never know how high it could go.
Nope.
Because one of our friends, Skadoots, she customized one of the caps. It was the highest auction price
of the entire season
they had all year.
Yep.
The thing went for what? Over 700?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Woo.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, bidding war was real. I mean, she killed it. Don't get it twisted. Like that was 100% her. She did an amazing job on the custom. She like scooped out the fucking head, and there was brains and shit. Like I was just like, damn, like crazy. Like I even bid for it, but there's no way in hell I can afford that.
Yeah, this thing went up so fast, and it was like, and literally, it was like. They had put like an hour time limit. We went over it because they kept going. It just kept going and going.
We're gonna keep it going until somebody says I'm out. You know, until we had a clear winner. And again, that's what the show's all about, right? Like, so I know like offhand, oh, you're just gonna come on the show and try to sell it. No. It's like throwing fucking meat in a piranha pool. You know what I'm saying? Like people. It's amazing because it comes from fucking love, bro. It comes from the fact that they're excited to see who's on. They're excited to see the piece, and it's a dope ass piece. Like, let's be honest, like it only sells because it's fucking really good, and that's what the show is all about. It's just bringing them on. So we kicked off this challenge, and for the kickoff, I said, listen, if I'm going to challenge you, I'm gonna hit you with one first. So there's the original right there, and that's one of the customs that you're gonna see.
Damn, Ace looks dope.
You know what I mean?
That looks dope.
The little tiny guy, the original John, and then you got a little fucking Robin to match the Batman. So I told it in the challenge, I'm like, I did it to set it off, but I still got something for you. So I'm gonna be finishing this little sucker off right here, a little Joker version of the Danger Dog, right? So I'm also gonna be in a challenge just to kind of help promote and help push. So you're gonna, again, maybe nobody does it, maybe somebody will. I don't know. I'm giving you the platform. I'm saying here's an opportunity. I'm not a gallery. I'm not charging you for anything. All I'm asking is you go ahead and purchase a piece that a sponsor of the show has given you a discount on. So you're not even paying full price for the piece. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, here's an opportunity. Dude, when I started, if I had somebody tell me that shit, I paid 20 of these bitches. I'm like, I one of them. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm hoping that we can start sparking here. It's like, I want to involve the community. I want to show people that there's going to be talent out there that I don't think anybody's ready and prepared for. And it's gonna be fun, man. So everybody got a month. The last week of February is when I'm gonna fucking pick a winner. And if it does well, we're gonna roll it into the next fucking piece. And I'll go out there and I'll find another piece that's affordable. And I don't want to break your bank. I just want to push you. And maybe be the voice that you need to hear to keep fucking following those dreams. Sigue pa'lante. That's all I'm asking you to do. I'm just telling you what my mom told me.
I can't even specify how he has sparked a flame that you have to love this man's passion. It just permeates him. And if you guys can, please,
it might be the rum.
A little bit though. Un poquito.
Yeah, but he said it too. I mean, I've told you guys, the appreciation I feel from these guys when you're buying pieces from them is like, it's crazy. I've gotten onto streams and literally like Big C's calling me out. I've got one piece from Big C coming, but because I've bought stuff for Surge and everybody else in the stream, and I'm interacting with him, it's like I was like, he's calling me out? Like what?
No, but
it's like I mean, Fett, how many times has Fett given me extra pieces just because? I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
I mean, listen, you really I think this community is so tuned into like a disconnect between the artist and the artwork, right? It's like, oh, there's a fucking Ron English piece. There's a fucking cost piece that just dropped. It's fine and dandy. I was like, my man, there's a lot of artists in the trenches right now. And I think what the show does is I don't ask any of the artists to drop their prices. I don't do any of that. I don't do any of that. They see the potential and saying, you know what? My customs usually sell at this price. And I still drop my customs at this price. You go to a gallery and you'll find a piece. You're not gonna pay $40 for a piece of mine at a gallery. It's not happening. It's a different game. It's a different thing. But given the opportunity for you to come on a show on any given fucking Friday and spend $10 and get a fucking original piece from me, it blows people's minds. But then all the artists who watch are picking up on that. It's like, wait a minute, maybe if I do offer something that's a little less expensive, it's a way to build that relationship with a client, right? And those clients eventually become fucking friends. And those friends not only support you, they bring you on fucking shows with their other buddies so that they can fucking be exposed. And then that shit this is how this community works, man. It's to me, it's always been super organic. It's like, yo, let's just have fun, man. Listen, I'm a grown-ass man making toys. What the fuck? What am I mad about? What am I supposed to be mad about? You know what I mean?
A great example. A great example of that. Nervous.
Yes, my brother.
He did the pill drones. 25. He made 25 pill drones for the show.
Handmade, hand painted, hand sculpted. These little fuckers are gorgeous.
I have one over by my computer, my home computer, and I see it every day. It cracks me up. It just makes me smile. Just the little expression on his face. But you guys have seen, just buying that and seeing and being exposed to some of his stuff. I mean, you guys have seen. I went out and got this other piece that you guys have seen.
Gorgeous.
Because of it. And but I mean, he was amazed that he sold, like, he literally sold 25 in like 4 minutes.
Not even, right?
Yeah.
You were there. You witnessed that. It was the first time.
I got one of them.
Yeah, right. It was the first time that we had, because it's interesting. Us artists, man, we're like anybody else, right? We sometimes get in our heads. We get in a slump. You don't see a sale in a couple weeks, and it's like, fuck, what am I doing? Like, this is ridiculous. Nervous is one of those artists who, listen, I've known him since I started. He's one of those dudes where I remember seeing his first custom and I'm like, what the fuck and who the hell has time to even do this shit? If you look at the intricacies of what he does like some like he does you see all those teeth and all those fucking like there's mind-boggling. He did this bootleg cause piece last year that I'm just like what's wrong with you, bro? Like, why would you put so much time in? Fucking flawless. These pieces are absolutely flawless, but he got into this point where it was months. He hadn't sold anything. He saw the show. He's like, man, is there any way I can come on? I'm like, bro, come on. Bring a couple things. It doesn't have to be finished. Just, just something simple. Don't go too crazy. And he turns around and he shows me these things. He's like, hey, man, I'm thinking of bringing these to the show. And they were unpainted at the time. I'm like, and you could see all the hand sculpting. And I'm like, bro, like, that's crazy, but don't kill yourself. I don't know if, no, dude, I got it. I saw, you think I'm going to sell it for $25. I'm like, what? Like, what? I said, hold on, stop. Because I'll buy them all right now and I'll just resell them later. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, no. I was like, all right. I was like, no worries. I was like, come on. I'm not going to promise anything. I was like, let's just see what happens. But I guarantee you're going to sell at least one. Because I'm buying it. He starts laughing. He's like, all right. He comes on and he goes by Nervous Wreck because, he's a very quiet fellow, but he's a fucking mad genius. And when he dropped these things, everybody in the box went bananas. And when I said the price, he was in shock. I remember having a conversation with him right after the show and weeks after the show. He's like, I cannot thank you enough. Like, he goes, this changed everything because you got your groove back. It goes beyond, like, you guys have got to understand that sometimes it's not even the sale. It's that you lost that. You're in a funk and you lost that mojo.
Loving feeling.
You lost that loving feeling. And all it takes is a sale or two. But to drop 27 pieces and sell them out instantaneously, there's no gallery that does that right now, bro. Let me be real fucking honest. I'm very proud of that, and I'm very proud of the community that supports that, because it ain't me. I didn't buy 27 fucking pieces. I barely could afford one. I had to fucking really struggle to get the one piece. I was like, fuck, I really want one. But this community is unreal. That started the fucking, I think, Smitty, correct me if I'm wrong. That started that like run of like every artist that came on, like they would do this.
There's only been a handful of items that like you had like almost like little or no interest in. Almost everything. I mean, and a lot of them, they end up, you have to auction it because you're coming on with a single, hey, I've got, all right, I've got 10 things I'm bringing in for the original sale, and I've got 2 things of 10 that I'm going to bring in, and then they sell out like that, and then you're like, well, I've got this one-off, and it goes up for auction, and you've got people. I mean, some of the auction prices have been crazy. Well, I mean, a great example is Evil's launch.
Yes. That's another one. That's an.
I snapped up one of the 5 original blanks. See, that's the blue one. I've got the white one. I sent, actually, these guys have seen, because I sent that original to Priscilla.
Woo.
And she did the Venom Carnage custom.
Oh, that shit came out sick. Hey, Smitty, just FYI.
Yeah.
Don't miss Friday's show.
Okay.
Wait, plug. Hey, don't try to be low. Don't be low. Plug the show now.
Here's what we're doing this season. So last season we didn't promote shit. Like, we were like, if you're there on a Friday night, you're there on a Friday night. If you know, you know. If you don't know, go fuck yourself, right? This season we're changing it up a little bit, and we are going to start promoting the artists. So I'm dropping a teaser on a Sunday night, so you could kind of try to guess who's coming on. Which I think, Smitty, you guessed it already. You saw the post. So, but then on the Friday morning, I'm actually gonna reveal who's on the show, because the element of surprise is still gonna be there, because I have so many people that want to come on the show that we're going to surprise folks with surprise drops from surprise artists, even though the main artist and the main guest is still there. So this weekend, I'll be you guys will be the first to know who's coming on. So it is Priscilla. Shout out to Priscilla's Alte on Instagram. She will be my featured guest on Friday. So you guys get, the news first. But then moving forward, just keep an eye on a Sunday drop to see who's you're gonna take a guess at who's gonna come on. And you know what? There might be prizes for people who guess. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You never know what we're gonna do on a Boozing Buddies night. You know what I'm saying? The coolest part is that I've received so much shit from artists wanting to support and do giveaways and shit. Like, I got giveaways for weeks, man. So, you might be lucky, come on a show, not spend a dime, and go home with a fucking fly ass piece from an artist in Cambodia, or a fucking 3D print of a new character that the gorillas dropping. You never know what's coming, B. That's the beautiful part about what we do.
Just see, I like that. See, that's why he didn't want to even plug. He's trying to tell Smitty play it on the low. No, this look, this whole show is about getting the word out.
Yes.
So obviously, Smitty has mentioned it. I know Bob has talked about it too, and I've heard other people talk about it. Boozing Buddies is obviously, I've heard nothing but rave reviews about the show.
That's awesome.
And I was like, I know that you guys are on Fridays. I usually, and if I haven't passed out because I got my 1.5-year-old with me, that she makes.
I know that.
You know how it is.
Whew.
But I've heard nothing but out of Smitty's mouth the positivity and what he finds, and his Instagram blows up. He'll be in my stream and I'll just see like 8 pictures of all the stuff that he's gotten, and I'm just like, damn, that's some hot shit. Like,
it's fun, man. And
like,
what you can pick up on a Friday night, you just don't know. Like, just some of these artists are legit giving away shit, like just
practically.
Yeah, I mean, I tell them, I'm like, dude, that is not that. Do not sell that at that price. That is too fucking cheap. And they're like, no, like we want to support and we want to build a community. Again, this show would not be the show it is without people like Smitty and the artists that come on. Like I said, I'm just there to hype you guys up, man. That's my job. You know what I mean? Like, I believe in the artists that come on 100%. I'm not gonna be fucking fake or transparent about anything. Sorry, I'm not gonna be fake. I will be transparent about everything. If you're on the show, is because a part of me is a fucking mega fan. You know what I'm saying? There's a part of me that fucking loves what you do, and I'm hoping that I can bring bigger names in, and I'm hoping that some folks can see what we're doing, and it's we're here to make noise and to change it up a little bit. The galleries in this small industry have been tough on the clientele, and I'm like, I'm not here to do that. I'm here to spread love. I'm here to spread positivity. I'm here to spread art, man. Let's just sit down and fucking create cool shit. Like, what else we gonna do, man? Shit.
We got a question for you. How do you set a price for the artwork? I do drawings and always find myself lowering my price for cheap on artwork I spend 4 to 5 hours on.
Yes. Okay. So that's a very interesting question, because I come from the mindset of selling art as a business, right? I gotta feed my kids at the end of the day. I can put $1,000 price tag on a custom figure. Have I garnered the following and the clientele to justify that price?
You're close. You just had one. What, the last Stormy Vault one you had went for $750 or something like that.
That was a good one. But what I'm saying is I'm getting close, right? But that took what people don't see from that is that took 8-9 years of building a name and building the brand and eating shit and fucking giving away shit and
yeah. But how long did you spend on that piece alone too?
That piece, again, that one, a custom like that, you're talking about a week's worth of time sprinkled in between everything else, right? Like, I remember starting it. I want to say is anywhere between 15 to 35 hours, to be quite honest. I couldn't really tell you, because like if you guys can see, there's so much shit here. I'm always working on something, like legit. Like, this is my work area right now, because there's always something I'm fucking putting together, building, painting. I don't know how to stop. So it's like, what I'm talking to you here right now, my 3D printer is going off printing a character that I need for. I have them? No, I put them over there. Right here on my desk, I have some pieces that were supposed to go out to a Mexico show, the Ricklo show. These are prints that came off the machine last night. So, these are custom one-off pieces. So So it's like I gave up on trying to have a metric, and I go there's kind of a formula in my head. It depends on the audience I'm trying to sell it to. Okay. At a con, if I sell posters and prints, I know that my prints are they're open runs. They're not limited. They're not nothing. So it's like I know what I paid for it. So at minimum, I gotta make triple that, right? That's at minimum. So, but I think my posters were like $15 at a show. Knowing that there's a $5 kind of like playroom. So like on a Sunday night, if I still had a shit ton of stock, guess what? They'll fucking went from 15 to 10. And if and they were really, it was a really bad show from 15 to 5. You know what I'm saying? So it's like to me, they're each one of them are specific projects for specific audience. If I'm doing a custom for a gallery show, I know the kind of clientele that goes there. So it's like I don't want to put a piece that's $100 when I know somebody who's going to come in and they're loaded, right? And they're loaded and they're looking for that unique piece, that piece that I can only get, and I will spend whatever. So on one of my gallery pieces will probably be a lot higher than something I drop on my own, right? But then there's also the idea and concept of spreading it across the board. Maybe I did a custom. Maybe I did this Batman and everybody fucking hated it. I still put the same amount of time in this that I would have something I did sell at a gallery, right? But if I can't sell it, I know that I can take a hit. At minimum, as a business, I gotta protect my bottom line. My bottom line that this has a actual cost. It costs something for the paints. It costs something for the brushes. It costs something for the vinyl, right? And the clay that I use. There's a minimum cost. But pricing for me is more like, if I like it, I say, man, like this one, if it didn't sell, dude, this was going right on my fucking shelf in my collection. I truly love this.
Oh, you know it's selling.
Right?
You know it's selling.
Right. But Smitty, I'm trying to be humble here, Smitty. God damn it. What I'm saying is that I think when I first started, it was tough. Like, I kid you not. My first con outing, I had all original artwork. I did prints and stickers. It was at a fucking food truck event, so I did a menu and the whole fucking night. I sold one fucking sticker for $1 in 9 hours. I was sitting there in the fucking hot sun, surrounded by fucking food trucks, hungry as fuck, with my fat ass just smelling every single goddamn food truck, right? What I learned that day was that it doesn't matter, because the one sticker that I sold for the $1 was a dude that ran a big show. He loved what I did and gave me a free table at his show. When I did his show, now I'm in a family-oriented convention or show, and I think that weekend I say weekend, it was one fucking day. It was a long ass day, but it was one fucking day. I came home with almost $3,000. It's like $2,500. What? Motherfuckers were coming to the booth, ripping sketches out of my sketchbook, talking about I need this, and I'm like, what? Like what the fuck? What's happening right now? You know what I mean? So it's like, if nobody would have bought anything on that first show, I would have walked away and quit. But because I was there and I was hustling and I was enjoying myself, I wasn't mad that I don't sold $1. You know what I mean? I didn't give a damn. It was the best thing I've ever done. Again, going to prices though. It's like at that point, all my prices were super low. I was just trying to get my name out there, right? So it's like, yeah, man, I would do original drawings for fucking $15-20. Dude, I sold my fucking Stormtrooper helmet. You know the one I fucking put out everywhere. The original sketch of that, somebody bought for fucking $25 at that show. $25. The other day I sold a fucking the original Mandalorian helmet that I drew. It's a fucking sketch this fucking big. Somebody paid me $250 for it. So it's like, it just depends on like where you are. And again, I try to walk that line between business and like the art world. Like honestly, the art world, you can price whatever the fuck you want. It's in the art world is you price it as much as someone's willing to pay for it. And to me, that's kind of fucked up a little bit, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but would I love to sell a fucking piece for $1 million? Fuck yeah. Am I gonna ever do that? Probably not. But I'm gonna sneak up in there, right? I'm gonna sneak up in there. When my customs first started, they were inexpensive. When I saw the demand at that Stormy Vault show, actually the first Stormy Vault show, I think I sold my piece instantaneously. I'm like, fuck, I should have put that up for auction, right? Like shit, like damn, like this. I want to see. The auction was to test out where that ceiling is. $750. I'll take that any fucking day. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
problem is with those galleries, they take half of that money. That's what people don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, but this was
Spastic and Collectibles, or Spastic Collectibles. And I forgot how much I priced that. I couldn't even tell you. But I think a portion of me and Spastic, I think, I worked out a deal with him where he got some of the cash and stuff like that. So it's like that probably went, that was probably in the 250 range.
Yeah.
Right? Somewhere around there.
Yeah. I want to say 225, 250, somewhere in there.
And that's where I feel comfortable, knowing how much time I put into it. You know what I mean?
Right. And knowing what a 6-inch tech goes for on its own, and then the customization.
Correct.
You know, the extra sculpting, the little, and it's a one of one. I was like, okay. But I had also seen the Stormy Vault piece that you had sold for $500, and I was like, damn, there's no way I can afford that, especially at that time. But I watched the other auction because I wanted to see, because by then I had a couple of pieces, I mean, when I got this for 125, and this was the first time Splat had done customs, I had told Xavier reach out to Playful, because I was like, I want to see what he could do with something like this.
That's awesome. That's probably why I got the call. So something like that, right? Something like that, a part of what I do is try to pay back, right? To try to pay it forward or whatever. Xavier's, when I first met him, was fucking 15 years old, and he's out here hustling toys. I'm like, holy shit. If I had started at 15, I don't know, I would probably be selling $1 million pieces right now. No, I'm kidding. I'm lying. But what I'm saying is, like, this is a fucking young, hungry artist. I'm not going to price something that someone can't take home. There's more sculpting on that little splat than there was on the tech one that you have. Okay.
Yeah.
Hands down. If I would have put that in a gallery, that I would have probably priced that at about $500 to $600, to be honest. Just in the time alone it took. I think that one took longer than the fucking the Techrilla or the tech that you have. But I wanted to help promote his platform and his dream. It's like, look, here's a chance to own one of my pieces at a fucking amazing rate. You know what I'm saying? Like when he told me the story that how he missed it and it sold instantaneously, like, God damn, like I could have probably charged more, but that wasn't the point. So for me, pricing is weird. It really is. Look.
Well, I also wanted it because it was literally the first piece of yours I was able to get my hands on, or was trying to. And literally, I was like updating, like refreshing the site.
See, Smitty,
for the noon drop. It was like,
Bob, this is what I'm talking about right here. This, like, are you fucking kidding me? I feel like I'm fanning out right now because of this. Like, to me, that is worth everything. And it's like, look. Right now, I'm okay. Right now, like, my bills are covered. Everything's, the 9-to-5 is really taking care of me right now, right? Everything I'm doing, like, it's just brand building for me. And it's a unique position I'm in because, like, I wasn't here 3-4 years ago. There was no way. I had to get top dollar. I had to squeeze every fucking time. Now it's just like I'm making shit for fun, man. I love that fucking gorilla piece. Like I truly like when I did, I'm like, God damn, what the fuck? This is good. I like this. Like it to me was like, damn. Here's an opportunity for me to build a brand, help somebody else proliferate their brand, and put a fucking cool piece in a new collector's hands. And those fucking 3 things happen. The fucking perfect trifecta. Fuck. And then me and Smitty, like the next time I see him, he's fucking buying patelillos off my sister. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is fucking great. Like, this is how I envision the organic growth. It's like, if I can find someone who truly appreciates what I do and even appreciates more because I know Smitty has heard the fucking sob stories and has heard the fucking backstories and has heard all these stories before and gets it. And it's like, look, it's not, it's I'm here to show that no matter what the fuck happens to you, you can fucking make it. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like it, you know, yes, like would I love to be selling NFTs at $1 million tomorrow? Absolutely, everybody does. But I know my lane. I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to stay right now as focused as possible to get to that fucking goal of that fucking goddamn gorilla vinyl. That's it.
And a lot of the guys, I mean, you Fett, a lot of the guys you bring on, they all have a 9-to-5 job.
Mhm.
The hustle these guys do to, I mean, they're doing stuff every night just to have stuff to go to shows with. I mean, I've developed crazy respect for these guys.
Dre and Bob, you guys work, right?
I'm on disability right now, but I used to be a teacher.
Okay, so you
So
know what
I
it
know.
is. Come home to kids, come home to a wife, come home to a house, bills. Bob, you have any kids down there? No kids yet, but you know the situation. You got shit to do. You still, you know. So imagine doing all that and then finding some time to do this shit. That's why I respect everybody that I bring on, especially those that are working 9-to-5s. Fucking Mr. Mento blew me the fuck away. Because when he came on the scene, it was fucking out of nowhere. I'm like, who the fuck is this dude with some awesome ass donut characters? I had the awesome opportunity to hang out with him the entire weekend at DCon. And when I heard the story, I'm like, I'm a piece of shit compared to the shit you gotta go. Like, God damn, like, and these guys are out there with a smile on their face, supporting, creating. Bro, like, this is what this is all about, man. And I'm just ecstatic to be just a small portion of it, brother. That's that, you know what I mean? Like that's where I'm at.
If you wanted two guys to watch that have been on the show, Mento and Ganga are probably the two. I mean, and you guys know how big a fan I am of Evil.
And,
Evil's
a fucking legend in my eye. That's another motherfucker that.
Yeah, I love Evil Ghosty.
Fuck, man.
You know what? And they've seen every piece I've gotten, like from.
He was in the chat. Did you see him in the chat?
The keychain,
the
AP keychain.
Yeah. Where's the chat on YouTube?
Yeah, he was in the chat. We see it through the interface here too.
Okay.
But he's in here and he was like, "Yo, what's up?"
Sorry, if anybody's watching, I haven't seen any comments. So what up to everybody who's fucking watching this shit.
And Steph, you should definitely post your design if you haven't already on Instagram. I'll check tonight for it, but you definitely should post.
And please check this dude Playful Gorilla stuff out. He is my dude's got some great stuff up there. Like, look at that.
Right here.
That's a collab with him and King Ganga.
Ganga has some of the fucking greatest color palettes that I can fucking, and he does some really, he took my fucking sketch and busted this shit out, and I'm like,
well, and you'll know because I mean, Ganga has a very unique color. I mean, he's got like almost trademarked. I mean, you can tell it's a Ganga piece just by the colors. That purple and that yellow
with the teal and the fucking his.
I mean,
a diamond in the rough. This man is going to fucking explode, guaranteed. Like, it's one of those like talents I saw. I'm like, I hit him up quick. I'm like, yo, Ganga, man, I know you.
I mean, and the sign show the sign piece that you showed of Playful, Ganga submitted like 20 of them.
20 easy
for that contest. He was just like he was pumping one out a day.
Dude, my submission came like a day after the fucking shit ended. I was like, I ran out of time. I was like, fuck, I gotta do it. But that's the homie. Shout out to Hot Actor. That fucking sign thing was a great fucking idea. And I love doing that piece. But I kind of put, took the foot off the pedal a little bit because like, I want somebody else to shine. You know what I mean? Like Ganga. I was like, who won the contest? Do you remember? He placed, didn't he?
He was top 3,
right?
I forgot who I can't remember who won.
Yeah, I can't remember either. It was such a cool contest. You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
oh no, I mean, and the designs that came out of it were crazy.
Fire. Yeah, so it's like I said, man. Like I'm just doing my part to build the community out, but there's so much talent out there. You know, shout out to the guys in Hawaii, fucking Hot Actor, fucking 7 Sketches, Elusive Arts. Those 3 are fucking monstrosities in their own right. You know, shout out to Quicks who put me on the fucking map. You know, like these guys are just out there fucking and just killing it right now. And keep it on the fucking Booze and Buzzy season. I'm gonna try my damnedest to bring as many people on as I humanly possibly can, so you guys can see this talent and you guys can be on the ground floor at some of these pieces, man. Like King Ganga dropped, I believe it wasn't his first set of toys. Like he had painted toys, but they weren't released yet. So what he sold on the show was the first that were available. It weren't the first ones, but it was the first available. And then like a couple days later, the ones that he first painted dropped. So it's like, man, like I'm lucky, man. I'm seeing these guys. You know, Evil's gonna be crazy.
Yep.
Fuck, man, Priscilla is just a monstrosity. I'm not sure.
I love Priscilla's stuff.
Did you see her decon booth, bro? I think she did like 150 fucking pieces.
She was a beast going into decon. She had so many pieces.
I got the little burrito. Yeah, I got that little burrito. She's a monstrosity. So it's like I can't wait till you guys see some of this rollout. What Fed Up is about to drop this year. You guys are gonna be like, yo, this motherfucker. Like he put into motion a huge release that we can't talk about yet. But if you watch the show, you're gonna get some teasers. You'll get teaser here, which I'm gonna have a colorway on. Pepper Bang. We're gonna fucking do some cool shit.
I already know it. I already know it because I follow. But
so it's like, oh man, like we're in the precipice of like, yo, when I started, I want to say like it's almost 10 years now that I've been fiddling around this toy industry. When I started, man, a lot of this stuff was you couldn't touch half these artists. You can approach them, you can speak to them. It was very niche, and not everybody could sculpt, and not everybody could, produce something in 3D that would be ready for molding and casting and overseas shit. Nowadays, bro, I picked up a fucking $200 printer. $200? Are you kidding me? Dude, I sold 3D printers fuck, man, 6, 7, 8 years ago. That was my job. I know what these things were at one point. You could not come close. The cheapest thing on the market was about $5K. It was a Form 1. And you needed to have money to be in this game. With under a K, you can pick up a machine and be printing tomorrow. Now, obviously, you got to have some sculpting skills. That's where that's where my background is, which I'm lucky. But some of these guys are picking this shit up quick, printing it out, selling it. Mr. Mento, that's Digital Horseplay, fucking GDM Originals, fucking Dr. Plops. All these guys, keep an eye out for them, man, because they figured it out. You can do small production runs. Don't forget about fucking full production runs done right. Shout out to like Vanzer Toys. If you look at what Vanzer Toys are doing, a lot of their prototyping stuff is now in-house. You saw the little chibi Ramble, right? I mean, have you seen the Vanzer Toys, Smitty? The I think it's called the Ramble.
A Rambo, yeah.
Bro, and now they're showing you how they're producing half of that. And some of the runs, you got artists like Vandal who are strictly he has a deal now, which is fucking dope. He has some fucking dope releases with the CanBot and his own, but he's 3D printing shit out of his fucking garage and giving you fucking production like pieces directly from the artist. Like this is going to exponentially grow starting yesterday.
Well, I mean, yeah, you teamed up with Lunacy to do the Jizzies for the Pride show.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Lunacy.
And it was funny because if I hadn't been a fan of the stream, I wouldn't have gone down and checked out the studio when I was down there at Thanksgiving.
How awesome is that?
And that was awesome. It was funny because my mom went with me. She was like amazed at a production studio.
Crazy. Like that studio was set up so fucking nicely. We had 3D printers, kilns, like what Lunacy and I set off to do was to create a pipeline of, again, basically toys. It's like it starts with 3D. So he did legit ceramic work, but it was based off of scopes that I did. So he had a lot of tiki clientele. I have a few tiki mugs down in fucking Florida right now that I completely sculpted, and he molded and casted it into ceramic. So a legit working tiki mug that contains 100% instead of a hand sculpt from the computer, which is I always believed in that process. I always believed in that pipeline. It's a pipeline that up till a few months ago I couldn't afford myself here at the house, but now I can, right? So it's like now I'm able to sit down and produce, shit. I'm working on all right, I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of a custom. I don't know how well you guys know Gravity Falls, but it's one of my fucking favorite shows. And Martian Toys is doing like this pyramid show. All right, so they got a little vinyl pyramid, the Illuminati or something. I forget what it's called. But using my printer, I go like this. I go like this. Maybe you can see it, but I'm not gonna show you yet. I go like this. Put that little fucker right here. I still got to sand all these pieces and paint them on, but this is a dry fit of the custom. And what you have there.
Oh, it looks cool.
Is a little Bill Cipher.
That is sick.
I like that. That is dope.
So that's something I'm working on. I think that shows in March or something, but I got anxious about printing some of these things. I had to test run this machine. And again, being able to manufacture shit here at the house. And the cool thing about that is that what this opens up is that, yeah, I may be able to sell on the show, but if somebody comes and says, yo, I really need one of those fucking things, put on a printer, print it out, bang, bang, bang. Another piece that I can call a production piece from the studio, which is fucking amazing. Like it's mind blowing, bro. Like I said, I've been a student of all of this for years. Watching all these others do some cool shit, having my hands in some of it. Like I helped produce a couple of toys. Is shout out to White Boy who gave me a chance and let me sculpt a couple of his pieces, and they went into full production. It's been me looking from the outside in, and like I finally feel like, man, like I'm at a point where hey, everything aligned. Jobs came in that weren't expected. Got a couple extra bucks. I was able to reinvest it into the studio. So man, it's good times right now, man. And everybody in the mama right now are doing it. And I'm going to keep an eye out on these guys, and I'm going to help them, and I'm going to promote them, and I'm going to fucking push them to work harder and do better and fucking be better than I was and better than the people that came before me was. You know what I mean? Like your chains have finally come off. You don't have to depend on a big time investor or a big time producer to do and follow a dream. You fucking sit there and do it yourself, and goddamn, like that's fucking beautiful. The producers are gonna hate me for it, but
yeah, but I mean, you guys have promoted that. Hey, if you've got an idea, you've got you can go from sketch to design to a 3D sculpt to prepping for a mold. I mean, and you and FET will help with that.
Absolutely.
So, one of the cool things about this, you guys are giving people big opportunities.
We're trying. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, I want you to have no excuse. No excuse. If you have a goal and a dream, I don't want to sit down and mope and talk to you about how you couldn't do this and how this didn't happen and how you didn't know this person and how this. Nope. If you're sitting in a conversation with me, you're going to be privy to exactly not only how you can get there, but now there's a platform to fund your road to get there. So there's no excuse anymore. No excuses. I don't want to hear it anymore. You know what I mean? I listen, and this is me telling myself too, like, get out of your fucking head and figure it out. Keep moving forward. You'll figure it out. You'll get there.
Sigue pa'lante.
Sigue pa'lante, baby. That's exactly the motto, and I'm gonna fucking. That's how we're gonna rock it till the fucking day I die. Fuck that shit.
So look, folks, I'm gonna tell you now. Like, I am definitely gonna be checking out Booze and Buddies. We know that their show is on Fridays here on YouTube, and we is that on YouTube.
All right, so
Instagram.
Booze and Buddies Friday nights at Playful Gorilla, 9:30 p.m. on Instagram. So we thought about moving to a different platform. We're gonna rock with Instagram for a little bit more until I figure out some other shit. But you will be able to catch all the old season on the YouTube channel once I get it all figured out and situated. You will be able to catch older episodes on YouTube, but the live event and the live show happens on Instagram. So all you need is you don't need
look right there.
That's
Go to IG, folks. You gotta subscribe to his IG. Follow him there. Definitely check him out. Please, look, he gave us the code so you guys can go to Tenacious Toys to pick up. And please, why don't you guys, artists, try it out? What's the worst that's gonna happen? It doesn't get picked up. But like I said, what if it does?
Here, Dre, this is what I'm trying to tell people. You never know what my intentions are, right? So I may have all these customs that we do on this challenge, maybe as a fucking group show at the end of the year. You fucking don't know what I'm gonna do for you, but I promise you this: you do something for Booze and Buddies got your back.
Well, and that's how I told you. That's what we're doing here.
The miscast show that they did. I mean, they had. I mean, please tell me you're going to have Magic on at some point, because the stuff she was putting out, or the stuff she has on her site, that I didn't even know she existed until this miscast show. And she was doing literally a mystery box of like 6 to 8 pieces in this thing for $25.
It was unfucking godly and unreal, and I couldn't believe she was doing that. Honestly, this one of the artists, Smitty, I'm not gonna lie, I did not know of either. But until I posted that call to artists, she's one of the persons that hit me up. Tell me this isn't the fucking coolest little goddamn armadillo that you have ever seen in your goddamn life. Look at this fucking thing.
Yeah.
She fucking killed it. I felt bad because as a host, I try my best to give you guys first dibs on everything. When I saw this little fucker pop up, I'm like, oh my god. And then everybody in the box, I want it, fuck. So I hit her after the show. I'm like, listen, is there any way humanly possible you may have an armadillo laying around? And because it has a bubble in the back, she literally pulled it out the trash. She's like, yeah, I got one. I just threw away. I'm like, fuck you, give it to me. I'll pay for it right now. I threw money at the screen and everything. And she blessed me with a bunch of cool stuff. So yes, Smitty, she will return in season 2.
But yeah, I mean, and that's another one that, like, yeah, if you know, I mean, I follow a lot of the artists now that have been on. Magic was one that, like, yeah, I had never heard of her.
Blew me away.
Her drawings and stuff on her Instagram page are insanely good.
Fucking amazing. She sent me a bunch of slaps and shit. Like, I'm just like, yo, you are a fucking genius. Like, I love her work. Her style is ridiculous.
But that's what the show can do. I mean, one literally 15-minute time slot, because they had so many people. They had, each artist had 15 minutes to show what they had and get the sales.
I was a hard ass. I'm like, you got 15 minutes. At 15 minutes, I'm cutting you off and we're moving on to the next person. I was a fucking asshole, but it was the only way we can get through 25 fucking artists. You know what I'm saying? And even next time we do that, I might have to even cut it at like 10 minutes. But even within those, you know, I think what we try to build is that like mystique and that like FOMO, right? Like, you got 15 minutes. She's not coming back on. So if you see something, you better fucking go out there and try to claim it or bid on it or whatever, because that's it. Like, and that is what helped sell out every single one of those artists that came on. 25 artists in, 25 artists out, whatever they put on the fucking screen, all sold out. And don't get it twisted. A lot of it was, you know, was priced unbelievably. Who was it? it was Resin Rookie who started off with some like amazing fucking pieces like that, and I'm like, you serious? He's like, dude, this was in the trash. It's like, I kick myself in the ass every single time because I can't sell this. I'm like, yes, you can. Like, yes, like give it to me, I'll sell it for you, guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? People like that. People understand that. People love that shit. And man, I'm ecstatic, man. I'm just stoked to bring you guys season number 2, and God knows what the hell's gonna pop off. And I'll make up shit on the fly sometimes. So just try to keep up.
And that's like I said, I think that's part of what I love that you've said you've started, and I think it's going to be something that for me, as far as listening to you and wanting to pursue a relationship as a friend, and as well as to see as a collab where we can go with our show, is that revolution. I believe in that sigue para adelante. We have to always be looking to move forward, and this revolution that you've brought is so awesome, and I it makes me look forward to seeing what the show's going to bring for you guys, and seeing what you're going to be producing in the future. As I always tell everybody, this is not the only show you will be on. This is the first time we got you on,
Oh,
and
man.
I'm going to tell you now that maybe in a few months we come back and he's going to be like, yo, you might be seeing a piece here for Dre. You might be seeing a piece for Bob. You might see other stuff we don't want to tell you. But I want you to know that he's always going to be welcome to come back here. And I'm going to tell you now, like, you guys better check his pieces out. Please, please check out Tenacious Toys. Use the coupon code. Go to his IG. Message him if you are an artist that really is trying to figure out his or her way
Hit me up.
into this. He is willing to, like, just from what I could tell, he's looking to mentor you. The guy's got a life, so please be understanding of that. We families first for me,
Families
foremost.
Families
You
first.
know, and if he's willing to take that time for you and say, "Hey, I'll help you," he's like he said, he'll open the door. You got to walk through it, and I'm gonna leave it at that. So, folks, I'm gonna thank Playful for Gorilla. Alexis, you are freaking amazing, dude. I can't wait to chit chat with you a little bit longer after our stream.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank everybody that came through. I saw Evil Ghosty. We eventually we're gonna try to get you on this show because Evil Ghosty, we're looking at you. We're looking at you.
I've already laid the seed with him. I already said,
You
hey,
guys-
maybe later in the season,
Right? That's on the show already, right?
We had D Fresh last week. We've had you this week. I have What's Poppin' coming next week. We're taking a week off for Valentine's Day, and then the 21st, I'm gonna try to get Rock with a Great on.
Nice.
Because I know he's up your way in Jersey, and he's been putting out a lot of stuff. He just created his first figure, which I'm gonna have him talk about, Goose Fava, and it's he only had 9 pieces custom, and he sold all 9 figures, and now he's making figure heads for the 112
I like the
scale. So I'm proud of him. I know that he's putting a lot of hard work into that, and we will, like I said, once I get him on the show, we'll have him on here, and I definitely am gonna put him into you, talking to you, to maybe see if you guys can collab and do some stuff, because I know he's a native New Yorker that now moved to Jersey, and he came up doing. He's a skateboarder, nerd, into a lot of the custom toys. There's a lot of 3-0 and a lot of cool things like that. So I definitely think that's part of why I do this show. Is I meet somebody, I want to introduce them to somebody else and see what we can get. And folks, that's the object of being in the Nerd Dungeon. Once you walk in, you're stuck with us.
You're stuck. Oh shit. Oh damn it.
Now you're doing hard. You're doing hard time, folks. Hard time.
Damn it, Smitty. What the hell did you get me into?
Hey. You know me. Hey, we did the spotlight when, for Fett. I would love to get Fett on here, but the time difference would be killer.
He's up for it. He's good.
So I may talk to him about it, but
remember,
there are a lot of guys that, I would, I've got to talk to Dre about, maybe seeing about getting like Surge on, or
Surge is a monster.
And like I said, I've already whispered in Evil's ear about getting him on later this year.
Surge,
listen,
another Boricua that you gotta.
Oh, bring him on. No, I'm all about it. Listen, I'm all about getting people on the show to not only spread the love, because I had no opportunities like that for me when I first started on YouTube. But for me, this is my platform to spread that love back and give
Hell yeah.
back to people.
That's awesome, man.
So I would love for, like I said, Playful, you know anybody, you put a little bug in their ear, let them know. Evil Ghosty, you were in here, so I know you know I'm gonna call you out, sir. I want you on this show with us. And anybody else that's a custom toy designer, and I'm gonna call you what you are, an artist. Please hit us up. You guys know the Nerd Dungeon that's run by JC, but you can hit up my personal Instagram, Dre the Geek Dad, or you can hit up Smitty Rock or
Yep.
King Bob. Let us know, and we will arrange your time slot to come on. I already have people booked up until the last week of February,
Yep.
and I'm always willing to get people to come on Mondays and work around your schedule. Like I said, I'm a dad. I don't mind working around it, you know. But
Yeah.
again,
And we've
I'm a
got
dad
Dave,
first.
and we've got one of the like the last Monday in March. We've got to save for Dave. We're gonna get Dave on, the guy that is
Big
doing the
dog
charity
Dave.
auction, to do a big preview of a lot of the pieces and stuff that he's gonna have going up for the auction. Which of course we will put you in. Yeah, you'll definitely get some screen time on that. And I'll be posting.
Most definitely,
I mean,
we
I'll be
will.
posting IG stuff.
We may make it like
as
a
the
little
pieces
artist
come
spotlight
in
here.
and promoting both the auction and the artists, because I mean, these guys have been gracious. Like I said, Dougie, Fett, Serge, Alex. I mean, they've been gracious with. I mean, I reached out to them, a few months ago saying, "Hey, my buddy's doing this. Would you be willing?" And every one of them, without a second's hesitation, was like, "Definitely, for
We're here
sure."
to we're here to help, man. We're here to pay it forward. I have no qualms. Listen, if you can bring a smile to someone in need on the strength of a piece of artwork, without a doubt, bro. And again, it goes back to all the points that we've been talking about all day, right? It's just we're here. Our duty is to fucking help those that need help.
And that's what we're doing. So, like I said, folks, please say thank you, a big thank you, and shout out to my boy Playful Gorilla. Check him out on IG at Playful Gorilla. I know he is gonna be doing his artwork is on Booze and Buddies, but you could also check Tenacious Toys out. His coupon code is gonna be on his IG. If you guys hit him up, we will I'd love to have him back here at the end of March. We will schedule with him to get back on here so we can talk about his stuff. And like I said, I expect to see more and expect to hear more about our collaboration, not just me and him, but everybody else. All right, folks. This is Dre, same with Bob, Smitty, and Playful. Thank you guys for coming in and watching. Thank you guys as always. Peace out. We'll see you next time.
Peace.